Hello, everybody out there in the internet. Welcome to Aimless Babble Z, episode 248. I'm Chicken Master, joined by.
RPG Maniac 05.
And Trioptical.
So yeah, we got so much.
Apparently, I have a banana today.
No,
No,
you had.
no.
You didn't have a banana. Literally, you just said banana during the countdown last week.
I did not say banana.
Yes, you did. Tropical was there. Did he say? Did he say banana? Tropical.
Yes, it is
See?
in the recording.
And
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know. I don't remember the things I do sometimes.
Sometimes. Anyway, episode 248, Aimless Podcast, Aimless Babble Z. Did we give our introductions? We did. I was okay. Yeah, RPG totally tripped me up this episode. But yeah, what you been playing? I think we're gonna talk about pre-order thingies this week, or something else. It could come up, or someone else could like pose a question like me RPG. We'll see. Question time interlude, and then the news and stuff, because I totally have not been paying attention to it. But hey, there's always something out there that's happening most of the time. So who wants to go first with what they've been playing?
I will, because why not? So,
And he's got new stuff.
do I? Do I have new stuff? Do I, Tropical? I do actually, but it's only one new thing, so it's not all that exciting. But so anyways, I've been playing Soul Sacrifice Delta still. After I beat that that one post game story thingy, it changed something. One of the chapters in the regular story thingy, and it caused a branching thingy to happen, and it caused like a bunch of different things to happen. So there's like more stuff going on now. So there's just so much more stuff to do right now, but I don't feel like doing it because it's work and I'm tired. So I haven't. And that's pretty much it on that one. I picked up Tales of Xillia 2 yesterday, was it? I didn't really get to start playing it until today because I was like doing training all day yesterday. So it's I haven't gotten very far, but they changed quite a few things from the first one that I'm not sure how I feel about it though, because it's like for one they added this system into the game where it's like they do choices during certain parts of the game, so you press L1 or R1 to choose certain choices, and you kind of, I guess, make decisions and stuff for the game during that. But because they did that as like a dialogue option for the main character, he's kind of like a semi-silent protagonist, and I don't really like that because I'm used to all the Tales characters, being all voiced and stuff and talking like normal people. So now it's weird whenever there's like at the end of any of the battles and he's like in the final pose thingies, he doesn't really say much. So it's just weird to just have him there, just there. I don't know. But most of the characters from the previous games or the previous game have showed up already, so they're all in there except for Mila. So, or at least for now, anyway. I don't know. Like I said, I'm still pretty early in the game. I'm only about 5 hours or so in, so anything could happen. I also don't really know what's going on because they haven't really been explaining much, and it's like the main character has got some weird transformation thing going on with him right now, and he's like stabbing people with spears and destroying black gears and stuff, and no one knows what's going on. Like even the characters are confused and they're like, what's happening right now? So I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's going on. But the battle system from the previous game has been carried over, but they added a weapon shifting system for the main character, so he can change between dual pistols, dual swords, and sledgehammer, and you can like rotate them during battles to do stuff in addition to linking with people. They also took away the ability to change characters during battle, which sucks because now you have to make your teams before you leave town, and then you can only like fight with the team you leave town with. Otherwise, you have to actually go to a town to change characters and stuff, which is stupid. So I don't like that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got from that so far. So yeah, that's it and stuff.
Okay,
Is
so
it good so far? Sorry.
I don't know. I don't know, Tropical. I don't know, to tell you the truth, because they it's hard to tell because I don't really know what's going on story wise right now because like I said, they haven't really been explaining anything, and like they remove stuff from the first one, like the economy system thing that was at the shops from the last game has been taken out, but they had you like getting materials and stuff in this game, like you were gonna use them for something, and then that system's not there. So I'm like, what is this? But then I just came across a part where they introduced a custom order system in the shops or something, which I'm guessing is what that stuff is going to be for later. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's really I just don't know what's going on right now. It's just weird.
I was gonna ask, so Tell's series is that like, or like what is there like a certain thing with it that is like its secret sauce as far as like why people like it or why it's popular?
Sauce.
Is it like the battle system or the characters? I'm just wondering because it's like it's one of the series that's been around for a while. Because it's like tells us whatever, tells us whatever and stuff.
It may be a character thing. I mean, they usually have like.
Or that maybe it's just like another JRPG that, unlike Final Fantasy, doesn't have to like wait every 5 years for one or more.
Then there's that too, but I guess it's like the characters, because I mean they kind of go out of their way usually to, I guess, develop them, because you have like the main story stuff, but you also have the skits that occurred throughout the game, and it's kind of like their interactions together and their reactions to like the things going on around them and everything, and some of them are pretty funny and stuff. So it's, I think it's because the games are more character driven. It could be why, and the battle system is usually, because a lot of RPGs are usually like turn based, and it's one of the few that is like always like real time battling thingy.
Alrighty then. So, Tropical, would you like to go next, or would you like me to go?
Sure. I've basically been playing one new thing since I continue to play Clash of Clans, and
No!
yeah, it's I haven't hit that wall yet, so it's pretty good. In fact, I have more gems than I had last week at this point. I don't know how they make money on this, but I guess, and I don't know exactly. I guess like Supercell sold themselves right during the high point in the popularity of Clash of Clans, so they made their money and it's like, we're done. But it is a really cleverly designed game. No, this week I picked up Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition on PS4.
Don't you already have like 4 versions of that game?
I have lots. Yeah, like Blizzard gets lots of my money. I have collector's edition of Warcraft 3. I've bought a few copies of World of Warcraft, even though I've never really played it. I've never paid for the subscription before. Because, yeah, at some point the clients become really cheap, and I bought the client twice, and I got the free 30 days twice, and it's like, oh, whatever. Collector's edition of StarCraft Wings of Liberty, which was the first of part 2, and then Heart of the Swarm. Collector's edition of Diablo 3, collector's edition of Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls, the expansion. So, and I bought 2 of each of the Diablos because my wife played Diablo 2 back in the day. And, speaking of that, back in the day, I also bought 2 or 3 copies of Diablo 2. And StarCraft. I have a whole bunch of copies of StarCraft 1.
Wow, Tropical, I thought me and Guillermo were bad, but hearing your little Blizzard love fest here, I gotta say, I'm a bit disappointed.
Well, for the most part, I didn't buy those multiple copies at full price.
Oh, okay.
Like StarCraft was dirt cheap.
Yeah, the battle ships were like super cheap for like
Yeah.
ever.
So I've been getting lots of those since then. Uh, wow, that reminds me of some weird StarCraft stories. Like there was a universal key. You know how everything had CD keys back in the 90s,
Yeah.
and StarCraft, everyone had a key, but since we didn't play on BattleNet, we just did LAN. We just needed, all the computers to have it, and so we installed it on every computer in the lab. And I think there was a universal CD key. It was just, I think, all zeros and then a 1. And then you could type that in, and then you could just have tons of copies of StarCraft on every computer in the lab, which is what we did. And, well, I guess Blizzard was okay with it, because eventually they introduced a feature called spawning, where you could have, as long as one person bought a real copy, you can install spawn copies on all the other computers. And as long as that one real copy is playing in the game, then all the other ones work also. And they've done that with StarCraft 2. I don't know if Diablo has that. I don't think so. But yeah. Anyway, Diablo 3, Reaper of Ultimate Evil Edition. I am really impressed that it is not just a straight port of the PC version. They've gone forward and kept adding improvements. And, well, first off, I have to say I haven't played the PC version in a few months, so I don't know if this stuff is in the PC version already. But in the console version, they've added more and more systems that sort of encourage you to play faster, I guess, or play in the way that the pros do. Like pros, and that's probably not the best word. The really hardcore Diablo players play in a certain way. They identify the area with the greatest chance of running into rares, champions, bosses, things like that. And they just keep running through that same area over and over again as quickly as possible. Because loot drops are determined by monster kills. And if you kill more monsters, then you have more chances for really good loot drops. And in Diablo 3 early on, they added something called the Paragon system. And every time you leveled up in the Paragon system, your chance of getting these awesome loot drops increased. And so you just like kept trying to play more and more and more and more, faster and faster to, that it's more efficient that way. And then you're just trying to get these awesome loot drops. So regular people, we don't play like that. We like to see the story. We like to see the game and things like that. We're a bit slower, but I guess Blizzard wants us to play more like the hardcore do. And so the first system that they added in the console version was something called Nephilim Glory. So every once in a while you're fighting monsters and they'll drop this golden orb. And if you pick it up, you get a damage bonus and a speed bonus, but it only lasts for a little while. So once you have this, you're like, oh, I should go out and try to find more enemies and make the most of this advantage that I have right now. And if you do that, you can actually level up your Nephilim Glory to level 3, at which point I think it's something like double damage. You run a lot faster, and yeah, at that point you're just sort of speeding along, killing everything in your path. So that was really cool. In this version, they added another thing where, and I think it was always in there, it's basically a combo system. So every time you kill a bunch of enemies rapidly in succession, you get an XP bonus on top of that. But now, they actually show you that combo meter, like in a lot of games. So there's actually like a rope that's burning down, and then once it reaches its end, then your combo is over, and it tallies up how many guys you killed, and then gives you your XP bonus. So when you see that now, you feel like, oh, I've killed 20 enemies. If I can find any more really quickly, I can get it up to, 30, 40, 50 enemies, and then you get a double or over double 2 times XP bonus.
Is the XP bonus like the only benefit of your combo? Or is there some skills that like do more damage, like the higher your combo goes?
I think it's just XP bonuses. I'm not really sure. The thing was, I imported my character from the PS3 version. I was playing as a monk, and there was a skill I was using called Breath of Life, I believe, and it heals you. And I don't recall exactly, but I think it's one. Yeah, but I think it's one of those skills that they felt was too overpowered. So when I imported over to Ultimate Evil Edition and started up, and I kept using that skill, and it's like one time I noticed like, I didn't get any health back, and I looked and like, oh, that skill is not a healing skill anymore. It's called Breath of Heaven, and it increases my damage for a short amount of time. It's like, oh, my skill is gone. So there's a lot of stuff that I haven't really looked in depth into in the new version. I just sort of assume that it's the same. But XP bonuses, like that's kind of what you want. You want to get up to level 6. Well, now it's 70, so you have all of your skills. You can wear all the types of armor, and in addition to that, then you start leveling up your Paragon levels. And now Paragon levels give you Paragon points. So it's sort of like the badass system in Borderlands. Every time you get another Paragon level, you can add something to your base stats, and those are carried over to all of your characters.
Oh, that's nice.
So you're trying to get to that end game still. That's how these games are, I guess. It's really cool. And then the other thing they added was in the base game there was something, you got XP bonuses for breaking a lot of stuff. So all throughout the environment there's tombstones and barrels and benches and pews and just tons of stuff that in the console versions you can just use the right stick and like roll through them and they all break, or you can hit them with your attacks. And originally, it was if you broke a certain number in a row or above a certain number in quick succession, you would get an XP bonus. Now it gives you sort of random, I think they're random gameplay bonuses. So the most common one I've seen is if you break over, I think it's like over 7 items quickly, you get a speed boost for about 50 seconds. And then your character runs really fast, and they got sort of like Flash style trail lines behind him. It's like, oh, that's pretty useful. And that, again, that plays into sort of, oh, they want us to play faster. Kill more enemies, and then you get the bonus, and then you get the damage bonus, and then you get the XP bonus, and it's just like, whew, it's pretty exciting. So I was really impressed. It's like, wow, there's stuff in here that is not in the original version. That's really neat. The other thing that is super cool, and I have a tip about this too, remote play. I think I've played more Diablo 3 on my Vita screen than I have on my TV, as I tend to do now. And it works really well. And, well, I think mostly it's just the coolness. I don't have to go out into the living room. I can be anywhere. The first, let's see what happened. So one thing that sucked, like I got the digital version and I pre-ordered it, but it didn't activate until, in my time zone, 2 a.m. on launch day. That just seems sort of dumb to me. It's like, well, that's not really, if it's only midnight, it's a midnight launch in the Pacific time zone, but everywhere else has to wait essentially until the next day. So what's the point of having the midnight launch?
Is that how it works?
I guess. Actually, I didn't know what I thought. I thought maybe it makes sense to me that it should be like the Eastern time zone, right? Or at least every time zone has their own launch date.
Is that not? Because I could have sworn that's how.
I mean, if it's like a global game tropical play, if it's like within the U.S., that's usually not how it works. It's just like some like whatever hour that's ahead of you. Normally, it's just going to get it an hour ahead of you.
Oh, wait, do you mean just like digital releases, or?
But it's not like a whole day.
For physical launches, it's always whatever time zone you're in. Like, if you want Call of Duty at midnight, you don't have to wait in
Tactical RPG.
Recorded.
Okay, we're back. Tactical combos.
So that was fun.
Sorry for the technical difficulties. My internet crapped out. I don't know. It just happened. But yeah, we're back now. So yeah, continue, Tactical.
Yeah. Well, what was I talking about? How
Combos.
midnight launches
Oh
work
yeah. Oh yeah, we were talking about the time zone thing and how
with the time zones. Yeah. Like everyone gets it at midnight in their time zone, but with digital games so far, and I guess this is my only experience, but it is. So much stuff is happening on my screen.
I was like, why did you stop?
Yeah, it's the Pacific time zone, which basically means I don't get a midnight launch. I preloaded, everything was ready, but at 11:30, at 12, I was like, oh, I'm tired. It was like I have to wait another 2 hours to play Diablo 3 at launch, even though it's midnight here. It's like,
but you were sleepy anyway.
I didn't know.
So,
That for actually, Tactical. As you mentioned it, I think that is interesting. It's like, for as digital, it's not always like, it's not midnight your time. It's like sometimes it's midnight Eastern. I guess with Diablo it's midnight Pacific, which is weird. So
yeah,
that is weird.
I mean, yeah, that's just a weird way to do it.
But
they just want
at least everybody at the same
that
time.
everybody has it. So
at least digitally anyway.
But yeah, in the morning I woke up, it's like, oh, I'm gonna try remote play, and so I was just lying on my bed and turned on my Vita, and Diablo 3 started up, and I was playing on my Vita. I was like, oh, this is so cool. I'm just lying. I haven't even gotten out of bed yet, and I'm playing Diablo 3. And then, yeah, like brushing my teeth in the bathroom. Just like morning stuff. And I was like, oh, I'm just playing Diablo 3 wherever I am. I was like, this is so cool.
wow, just wow.
It was weird. My first thought, I was like, oh, this is the dream that everyone talks about, being able to play games in the bathroom.
It's like
I don't know why that's the
video
dream.
from TGS when they're just playing Killzone everywhere, all the time.
Yeah. Very exciting. The tip about remote play: if you can, hook up your PS4 to a wired connection, and then don't let your Vita connect directly to the PS4. Let it connect through your router. Because for some reason, that works a lot better than connecting directly to the PS4. I guess like one wired connection is better than both being wireless talking to each other.
Like, how? What? Okay.
Hook up PS4 to router via wire.
Well, I got that part, but I mean, like, why would you need to hook up your Vita to your router if you're just remote playing from the PS4, though?
Because, I don't know, like, it's easier for the PS4 to send data through a wire to your router. And then your router is better at sending that signal wirelessly to your Vita, instead of having the PS4 send a signal wirelessly directly to your Vita.
Wow, that doesn't make any sense. But okay. I'll just use that method then.
The router has a better transmitter, I guess, than the PS4 does.
I guess, but it just seems like going out of the way to send the information to it rather than just doing it directly, and it's still somehow better. It's like, that doesn't make sense.
It works better.
I understand that. I'm just saying it doesn't sound logical. Is what I'm saying.
But yeah, since I started doing that, remote play has been better for everything, and so now it's like, oh, now I can do remote play a lot. I played. One of the parts I really like about Diablo is you can just join your friends' games, sort of like how Destiny was working. And I basically did that a lot. But I wasn't sure how it would affect their games, so maybe I shouldn't. Because I was playing a level 30-something character, and everyone was just sort of just starting out, so they had low-level characters. And I had read somewhere that in this version, they want people to play together, so somehow the game will balance it out. Like you'll be dropped to their level or something, and or actually, well, they've only described it in the other direction. So if you're really low level and you join a high level character, you will be like bumped up to that level while you're playing. But all the loot that you pick up will be appropriate for the actual level of your character. I guess I haven't seen that yet, so that would be interesting. But yeah, I don't know how it works the other way around. At one point, I tried just like removing my weapons and equipment, but then I became super weak. I guess the weapons are pretty important. Is it crapping out again?
No, I'm good.
Oh. Oh, that's weird. Anyway.
Did something weird happen, or like was there some like weird?
Yeah, like I
feedback
was
or-
looking at the stream says I'm the only person in there now. I was like, huh, there were 2 people earlier. And then it got really quiet. It's like, maybe it's
Oh, I was listening.
maybe it's
I mean-
happening again. Okay, so anything else to say about Diablo? Nope. It's really pretty.
It effing better be. It's like the
There-
7th time you bought it.
There is a weird thing going on online right now in regards to Diablo's resolution and stuff like that, but I guess we'll get to that in the news.
I'm so over that. I'm so over resolutions and frame rate. It's like, dude, I don't care as long as it looks good, and like if it looks good, I could care if it's like it could be 480i, and I could like care less. But then I play games at 480i, so it's like
You wouldn't play games at 480i
But I
anymore.
guess
Don't lie.
when I did play Final Fantasy 13 after playing it in 480i, I was like, wow, I want to lift the screen.
See,
I think-
that's what I said.
Yeah, like
Screen
beyond a certain resolution, I don't think it matters. Well, like visually anyway.
And then like frame rate, I can only tell if it's bad. It's like, oh, it looks like a slideshow, or what's this choppiness here?
See, I'm glad I don't play games where that's like an issue, because I don't think I've played any games where it's been like, oh my god, the frame rate's terrible, because I probably wouldn't be able to tell otherwise. So
All right, no, I guess I gotta say this. So the reason that it's important is not because of like preference or if you can tell the difference or not. The reason is every console manufacturer says that they have the most powerful platform. And so you can't really tell who has the most powerful platform because everyone says that they have it. And arguably like they can make the case that they do have it. So the only way we can tell is from the software that other people make. And so looking at resolution and frame rate, those are just like 2 measurements that you can look at to see how powerful the hardware is.
And the others tropical, or you just like leave us hanging until the news section.
Other measurements? Well, I guess all the other measurements, like, yeah, it goes to all the technical stuff, which doesn't
Matter.
Yeah, that doesn't matter as
When
much.
you're playing a game. You can just be like, oh man, this processor is just sucking down the memory, or that probably isn't how that works. But,
yeah.
This one is super fast.
yeah. I guess you would tell.
Sucking down that memory.
I guess you would tell. It's like as long as the game's like not crappy, and it's like, oh man, it's just runs so smoothly, absolutely flawless.
So yeah, like as players, it doesn't matter. Resolution past a certain point, I don't know that regular people can actually tell. You can sort of tell. Some people can sort of tell, some people can't, and that's just like, oh, whatever. But I think early on, you know, if you're trying to get through the hype, like who has the most powerful console, like this is one of the ways to do it. Look at how the games are running, and then you can tell, oh, okay, this one is possibly more powerful.
I just saw that video that GameStop did, like when they asked people who made Call of Duty. You just like went up to people and was like, "So, what resolution is that? How many frame rates is it? Or what's the frames per second on this?" They'd have absolutely no idea. It'd just be just as hilarious. They'd be like, I don't know how to answer because I don't know what I should say."
What does resolution mean?
5 frames?
Just start throwing out like random numbers. It's like, is one of these right? Is one of them right?
Is the answer a number? I'll guess it's a
6
number.
pool. No, I 1 pooled.
It's like, wait, what?
Green, blue,
I know.
B.
It's like, tell me if I'm getting close. I don't know.
All right, I will bring us back to something related. So the Diablo thing is basically Eurogamer.net. They are sort of the umbrella that contains Digital Foundry. And Digital Foundry was sort of the first site going around, say, pixel counting, essentially. They were going around and telling you, hey, this is the actual resolution of this game, because we went and counted pixels on hundreds of screenshots. And, you know, that was sort of in the end of the lifetimes of those consoles, so it seems sort of silly. But right now we're in the new consoles, and so they're looking at those, and it's really interesting. It's like, oh, you can sort of see how the two hardwares are different. And they found, well, one of the cool things that came out of their analysis of Diablo 3 was that they found a bug that the developers at Blizzard didn't know about. And then they found out about it because they read this article and they went and fixed it. So day 1 patch fixed this weird frame rate bug that was in both versions of the game. The other thing that happened was, everyone knows about the resolution debate between PS4 and Xbox One games. Originally, Diablo 3 was going to be 900p rather than 1080p on Xbox One. And according to Eurogamer's story, they say that Blizzard's people talked to Microsoft, and Microsoft said that 900p was unacceptable, and they worked together with them to get it up to 1080p. And they did that at the expense of the frame rate a little. And so there's a lot of different opinions about whether that was good or not, whether that was bad enough or not, who was it done for. Some people are insisting that, this proves that Microsoft is looking out for its customers, because they're like, everyone wants 1080p, so you better make this game 1080p, or, well, I don't know, or what. I'm bad at making threats. And so they did it at the expense of frame rate, and I'm of two minds. On the one hand is like, I think frame rate affects gameplay more, just because that also plays into responsiveness and stuff like that. So maybe 900p, especially since the analysis of it showed that 900p basically looked kind of the same in this case.
It's only 180p's you're missing.
So I don't know that Microsoft made the right decision. I guess it does make sense that, they did this for their customers. But then that shows me that it's sort of like Microsoft doesn't really have a direction. It's like, we're just going to do what you want us to do. So this will make the, frame rate not as stable, but you want 1080p, so we're just going to do it. I read an article recently saying that customers are really good at seeing problems, but they're generally pretty bad at coming up with solutions. So, like, the example they gave in the article was the Ford's famous quote about, if I asked people what they wanted, they would just say faster horses. See, in that case, the problem was identified by the customers. Like, we want to go faster, but in their minds, the solution was faster horses, and they probably would have bought faster horses. But it's like the duty of the company to come up with inventive and like the right solutions for the customers. And so, yeah, from Microsoft's point of view, maybe 1080p. Now they can say, "Oh, Diablo 3 same resolution as the other system," and well, we're like 1080p is sort of I wouldn't say ironclad, but more solid than frame rate. Like a lot of games say they're 60 frames, but actually they sort of hover around 40 and 50 frames, which looks kind of like 60
They
frames.
lied.
Yeah. And so it's like if it ever hits 60 frames, they say, "Oh, the game is 60 frames." And that's a lot easier, I think, for marketing people to lie about than the resolution. Air quotes lie about.
Oh, it runs at 60 frames somewhere in there. ...
Oh, we didn't say 60 frames the whole game.
At some point during your however many hour experience, this game will run at 60 frames.
See that part right there? Right there? Yeah, right
There was.
There
There
it
was.
is.
Well,
And
it's
over.
60 frames, so it's because it's really fast. There. Oh. There. Did you see it?
You all
Did
saw
see
it. You all saw it. We can put it in there
We'll
now.
just write it down. 60 frames. There we go. I don't know. Well, how would you prefer it? I guess since you can't tell, you just would have been like, or can you tell?
I can't tell because when I play on PC, I get even more than 60 frames because I'm like, because I'll be like,
But you can't tell.
yeah, I can't even tell. It's like, oh, okay, whatever.
Well, I mean, I
Because when I
guess-
turn on or when I'm using, or when I used to use like Fraps or some other, or I guess that's the only one I would use, and it would like have the frame count while you're recording or whatever, or like before you started recording, to like have it locked at 60. It's like, oh, you get even more frames than 60 before you start recording. It's like I didn't even know. And then recently, when I was like editing a video for Wolf Among Us on PC, because I had to edit it, it was like rendering forever. I was like, wait a minute, it's at 120 frames. That's like double 60.
And like you can't tell resolution either, beyond a certain point, obviously.
Down a certain point, yeah. My resolution is basically
That kinda
binary
makes
of this game looks
sense
good
for
or this
the
game looks
frame
bad.
rate
I
thing
can't really
too, though.
say, oh, this is in. Oh. I guess I would like prefer a smooth frame rate because that is more noticeable when it dips and makes the game shareable or the game experience less enjoyable, as opposed to being
guess-
like, oh, did you see that? Right there was a 60.
As far as resolution, the only thing that I can think about or think of where it mattered was in Warhawk. If the resolution was higher, I would have been able to snipe from even further away than I was shooting at guys that were basically 5 or 6 pixels tall. Just little black collections
Oh,
of dots
Warhawk.
way in the distance. I was like, oh, so fun.
Leave it
And
to
so if
Tropical
the
to
res-
snipe in a game that has planes and tanks in it. It's like,
Yeah, I got pretty good at it. You could snipe them planes, actually.
Or you could use a rocket launcher on them because what the hell, Tropical? You were playing that game so wrong.
It was super fun. But yeah, like that, and also driving games. I feel like if Gran Turismo had an even higher resolution, it would be easier because sometimes you're looking at the turn and the distance, and you can't really make out what it is because there's just not enough pixels to draw it. And wow, which track is that one? I think it's the Top Gear track has some corners where you're just like it's just blocked off by cones, and so I see cones like okay, but there's space. Like which side am I supposed to turn when I get there? And then I get there, it's like oh, we're already here, and I didn't turn, and I just run through the cones. It's like you failed. So if there were more pixels, they could show more clearly in the distance what's coming up.
And then for Beyond Two Souls, I really love that game. That was beautiful, and it's only 720. So yeah, there's plenty of like late generation PS3 games. I was like, oh man, this looks great for just a PS3 game or 720. And I'm sure when I go back to play them after gushing all over PS4 games, I'd be like, oh, this is not bad for a PS3 game. That's, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not totally about resolution. Like, Final Fantasy VI was really low res. Still looks good, or I think it looks good.
Compared to what?
It's not. I don't know. It's hard to compare that stuff compared to its contemporaries, I suppose. Or compared to a really ugly game that's really high resolution now. What game would that be?
Maybe we could use like the Wii as an example, since all our games look terrible, but like the frame rate's steady, so.
Whoa! All the Wii games do not look terrible.
Okay, maybe
They're just
like
not all...
the majority of them do not look awesome. I think that was okay. That was a bit hyperbolic. That was hyperbole. They don't all look terrible, but I mean, there's only like a few that look, oh, this is an amazing looking Wii game, because you know it's Wii, so yeah.
Wow.
Your lowered expectations.
Just wow.
I'm just saying, dude. Not exactly the brain-busting, eye-exploding graphical powerhouse of a console.
Shocked and appalled.
If you
Okay.
want to defend the Wii, this is your chance, man. Just get on there and be like, you know, those Mii's and Wii Sports were just so good looking. Tekken.
Oh, I didn't play Wii Sports, so
Oh, well.
sorry. I played actual games.
So, Tekken, what have you been playing?
Kick them where they're down. So yeah, I've been playing. I guess I'll go with handhelds first. I had a smorgasbord of handheld games again because I'm still stuck in Dragon's Crown, so I was like, F it. And then I started playing a bunch of stuff. So I went to Fez, and I was playing it. This game's pretty fun, I gotta say. Like, I enjoyed it. I was playing without the sound, and people say the soundtrack's awesome, so can't talk about it. But I did enjoy the whole level thingy level. I'm sorry, level turning, jumping, and stuff. But then I was like tired on one of my breaks when I was like playing it, so I was like dozing off. So I didn't like, you know, I had to like restart because I was like, wait, what's going on? What happened? I like completely forgot what I was doing, and just yeah, it was funny. But I enjoyed it very much. Very pretty, very very fantastical game. And then I got stuck on that somewhere, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna play something else now. And then
Well, there are doors in that game, so that
actually,
would
I
not
think
be
I
surprising.
played Fez last. It was like one of the last ones, but whatever. I kept getting stuck. It was weird. It was a bad week. So yeah, I went on to Metricos. It was free, and I just put it on my Vita. And I was like, oh well, let me put this on here and play some of this. Pretty interesting game until I got stuck, and it's like a platformer, but it's weird in how it works because it's like the way you move manipulates some of the platforms that you have to jump on. So it's like it kind of messes with your brain if you're so used to playing other games that are not this game, because it's like the rules are so
To
different.
other games that are not this game.
I mean, it basically breaks all the rules of like platforming, because you'll be like walking along, but then your walking is like tied to like the platform is moving, so it's like, oh wait, I can't, and then it's like, okay, well, how do I get this platform here and that I need to jump onto to cross this gap, and then it just gets crazier from there, and then yeah, stuff. And the art style is cool though. It's got all these graphs and whatnot that you're jumping off and climbing. They're just like infographics and graphs, pretty much. But you don't know what it's
wish the
measuring
character-
ever. It's weird.
Yeah. I kind of wish the character animated better. It looks sort of lazy sometimes.
Which game is this now?
Metrico?
I have not heard of that.
I think it's free on Vita with Plus this month.
Yeah.
Oh, I will check that out.
And then the game, like, there's like no text either. It doesn't tell you like play this mode or story mode or challenge, practice or whatever. It's just like picture, no words. I was like touching the screen. I was like, and then like there's an option that I thought was maybe to pick the gender of your character. I was like, I don't know. This one that doesn't look like it has a bow on its head. Is that a bow? I don't know. I'm confused. And I just picked one. There's like one on the left, one on the right. And I was like, okay, whatever, dude. This one looks more like a dude. So yeah, touched it, and yeah, that was my dude or not dude. Well, no, I don't know. So yeah. But yeah, that was Metrico. It was interesting, and it was free. So yay, free games. Let's see. Then, let's see. This is the last game I played on my Vita. That I got, and I also got stuck on this game too. It's like weird because I was playing it. I was like, oh yeah, Batman, let's do this. I completely forgot I bought it, and I put it on my Vita because I was stuck. And I was like, okay, well let me put something else on here to play. It was so good. It was really cool how they like took the Metroidvania style and like mashed it up with Batman to where he will go through areas, and it's like, oh, I don't have this gadget, and you just like have to keep going, and then like I guess eventually until you get it later and come back. But I mean, backtracking is kind of annoying, but it's like it's Batman, so it's kind of like, well, it doesn't really bother me because I get to just like, keep going through areas and like beating up dudes or choking them out, so that's cool. I enjoyed it, but then I don't know like what happened. I think I like went off the rails to like an area that I was like not far enough to go through, and then I can't figure out how to backtrack to where I was able to select from the 3 different areas to go to because I got stuck in one. Then I figured out how to like get to like the main entrance of the prison, and then I went to like some other area. But then I got stuck on this boss fight with Solomon Grundy. I think that's who it was.
That guy.
And then I could only figure out how to like get one hit on him. I couldn't figure out how to damage him anymore in the boss fight. I was like, oh, what the F. And then
You should be able to get through it.
I don't know. We'll see.
Because that was the first boss I played.
Okay, well, I was going to look up a video online of how to get past it because I was like, dude, I've tried everything. I tried my batarangs. I tried my gun. I tried the other gadget I had, the hook shot. It's not the hook shot, but whatever Batman has, it's not the hook shot. Bat hook, bat claw, whatever. Bat something.
It's bet something. I don't know.
That thingy. Catwoman's in it, and yeah, that was cool. The beginning, how it starts off, and he's all chasing her and stuff. That was cool. So yeah, I got stuck on that, but I enjoyed it. Oh, okay. But yeah, besides the handheld games, so finally, I can never have to mention this mode in this game again. But I guess that's not true. I finally got my Quest for the Best, so yay! Mass Effect 3, I did it. I got Best of the Best banner. I did it. I was like, I'm done. And then it was funny because I was like, I'm gonna play one more, and like have my grand old Zindoff, and I was recording it, and I choked, and I was like, oh. but then the reason I choked is because I was like, okay, I'm just gonna start this game by myself, and then hopefully someone will join me, and then like nobody joined. I was like, oh well, I can still because I'm awesome. And then I totally got to like the like 10th wave and like got insta killed by an enemy, and I was like, yeah, that's what I did. And I was like, after, like when that happened, I was like, see, that's exactly why I don't play these effers, because they effing do this. I almost had like another breakdown. I was like, whatever, dude. It's like I'll just play one more. I'll play one more because I just got my Best of the Best banner, and you know what? I'm gonna show them Best of the Best and prove it. And I did. I was like, yeah, eat that Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. Go for yourself and never playing it again on 360, and then never, yeah. All the credits were spent, and I was like, haha, yes, I'm free, and then yeah.
Wow.
Woo! You should put that up somewhere, because you're not playing it anymore. It feels like, this banner was for yourself? Is that how it goes?
Yeah, Shoptical, it was. Because it's like I had to prove I was able to become the best of the best. I mean, I'll get on PS3 eventually. Who knows when? Because PS4 now. So yeah, that's like who knows when that'll happen. No, but I'll totally like be working on it on the side whenever I feel like it and stuff. Because and my live's gone. So it's like that's like the same day. Like my live right now. It's like goodbye Xbox Live. I'm never coming back. And yeah, it was that awkward moment when I was like, give me the keys, because this is it, dude. Or lady, or whatever, so yeah. And, yeah. Broke up with Xbox Live, just like I broke up with Nintendo, but it was like even more permanent this time, because I was like, yeah. You and your sneaky... Anyway, I'm not getting into it, but yeah, they know what they did. And yeah, it's over. Forever. And then, so yeah, other stuff, just the usual, some Garage 6 seasonal events. Every now and then, or I guess every week, because it's not every now and then. Though sometimes there is like a random new thingy when they like put out a vision card, like, oh, here's some new stuff. And then I played some Ace Combat 6, I think, for like extensively for the first time in a while, because I was like, yay, no more Mass Effect 3, and I was able to make some progress on my F-22 Raptor that I'm not unlocked yet. So, but the servers are down for maintenance, so I can't play lately the last couple of days. So, And then I went to PS4 and I had another. Oh wait. I did. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Okay. So two things happened. I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. So I was looking. Okay, after I finished Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, I was like, okay, well, what do I have that I haven't played through? And I was like, well, what I'm going to tackle in the short period between now and when Destiny comes out to like try to play through it. And so I played like one battle in Tactics Ogre. I was like, okay, this is where I was at. But then I used my last reviving item, so I need to go in and grind for credits and level. I was like, it was weird. I hadn't played since April, and I was like, dude, I don't even remember what I was doing in this game. And I loaded my file, and everything was all weird. And I was like, oh, what was I? I didn't know. I was like, what was I thinking? What was I doing? My character's like a completely different class, and like when I left, and I was like, oh, this is terrible. So I'm gonna come back to it. I'm gonna come back to it like that in this other game, Mass Effect. So yeah, PS3 playthrough. Like I never finished it. I got to the Citadel and never left. So Tuesday I spent all day pretty much playing Mass Effect. It was weird. I was like so taken.
You finished playing Mass
Doing
Effect.
Mass Effect
What are you
3.
gonna do now?
And then we go back to playing Mass Effect. It's like what is this? What has my life become? It was weird, but it was like I got sucked back in. I was like, yep, the first one is the best one. But then it's weird because it's like it has all the warts that like are solved in all the other. I guess that's not how you say that, but all the issues that the words. I'm sorry. The two games that follow the first game that fix all the
Ow.
problems are just so much more when you play the first one. It's like I haven't played it in such a long time. I think I like missed a bunch of dialogue that triggers after side quests and stuff. So whatever, that might have ruined my videos I'm making. We'll see. But yeah, it was good to be back. I was like, oh yeah. But then I got into combat. I was like, oh, this is terrible. And then the elevators, and it's like all the like it was even more like. Yeah, exaggerated as far as like the pros and cons. I was just like, oh, the combat's terrible. Oh, it's terrible. Ooh, but then there's Liara and Rex and Ashley and Kaiden. You don't really get to go on adventures with until the third game, so it's like that's interesting. But yeah, that was fun. And it's also weird because it's like, well, I already know how this ends, but whatever. I know it's gonna happen to all of you, and you don't know it's gonna happen. But besides that, what did I play? I played. Oh, okay, dudes. Okay, so I did play some PS4. So I was streaming a bit of Lego Marvel casually, but I got stuck really fast because I was like, I hadn't played in like it's been a while since I gorged on it and played PS4 stuff. And because I didn't know what I was doing in Lego, I was like, I didn't remember how to play, and like I barely got like a bit farther. So I was like, whatever. So then I was like, okay, well, crap, I'm not finding the. Okay, the game I'm about to talk about, for whatever reason, I can't find the image to put up on the thingy, so I'm just gonna switch it out with the Aimless thingy. But yeah, I don't know what's up with that. But so yeah, I was playing Strider. That game is awesome. That game is my jam. That's my new jam. Like that's my new when I need to just chill out and just play something. Because that's my new rule on PS4 is like one game at a time. The only reason I was like playing Lego and Strider is just because like I got stuck in Lego and I was like, dude, I need to play something, and like I was like, dude, I was like looking at, and I just got a new TV, so I was like, well, I'm sorry, I was really itching. I was really itching, like just like the PS4 part of my brain was like, dude, Tekken, scratch me now. And I was like, oh, I'm itching. Oh, let's scratch this itch. Oh, and it felt so good. Strider, and it was just like, oh. It looks so good, and it plays so good, and it feels so old school, and like the action, and ninja stuff, awesomeness, and just the soundtrack, and everything about it is just like it is just like it hits all the sweet spots of a game that is like Shadow Complex, where it's like an old school style, but it looks so new and awesome, and I had the share button, and I didn't share a bunch of videos I like shared, but I have them, and I'm waiting to unleash them after I take them to the share factory and polish them all up into a nice little montage of awesomeness. But yeah,
goodness.
there's a lot of hot ninja action in that game, and if you didn't have Plus when it was free, well, you should buy that game because it's totally worth the $15 if it's $15. Even if it's worth 20, even if it's 20, it's totally worth it. It's just like, dude, so stylish ninja action, unlockables, stuff. Yeah, I love me some Strider, and it was an awesome time. I spent like 4 hours playing, and I was like, wow, I cried out on Mass Effect, and I was like, ooh, PS4. And then I opened up a can of Strider, and I was like, oh, that's good. And then I got done playing. I was like, man, I want to play something else, but I don't know if I can, dude. That was intense, and I don't think anything else is gonna measure up. So yeah.
Wow.
Let me wow, words today. So I'm sorry. Love me some Strider, and it was a great game to play, and I can't wait to play some more. When I'm
Are you playing
streaming.
everything on your TV now? How's it?
Not everything. Actually, weird thing, because Tropical recommended me this TV. How do you get the sticker off? That's like, did you have a yellow sticker on yours? Does it just like naturally come off, or like do you have to peel it off? Because I didn't want to do anything to like touch my screen. I was like, ooh.
What sticker?
A yellow sticker?
Yeah, that's like energy guide, and it's like, do not remove this sticker.
Then don't remove
If you're
it.
selling it, it's like
You
before
mean
sale.
like on the corner on the
Yeah.
front of the screen?
Yeah, on the bottom right of the screen, there's like a sticker.
Oh, mine wasn't. What is it, like a triangular sticker?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, mine didn't have that. Mine was they taped it on in a different way, so it was a square sticker, but it was like taped onto the edge. You should be able to just peel it off. Usually, just don't do it. Like, turn off the TV for a while, wait for it to be cool, and then like.
Why me? Because the other thing that happened to me is that I got a 2 terabyte hard drive, and I was like, oh yeah, got back from Guardians of the Galaxy. I was like, oh yeah, I just saw an awesome movie. Let me try to upgrade my hard drive space on my PS4, and it ain't working. So now I got to put the old hard drive back in, which is like a whole task and a half. Whatever.
I'm sorry.
Whatever. I'm gonna try to put in my PS3 and just be like, at least I can salvage it that way if it works.
Is
But
the hard drive not compatible with the PS4 or something?
I don't know, dudes. I looked at the Newegg reviews, and people were like, "Oh, I use it on my PS4," and I was like, well, I was
Are you
doing-
sure those people weren't liars?
Well, I was doing research beforehand, and like other people had done it, and I was watching YouTube videos, and I was like, oh, okay, well, this looks like the same one, so yeah,
It
and
looks
everything
like
fit
the same
fine,
one.
so yeah.
Hmm.
But then I just got stuck on the safe mode boot up thingy, so yeah, we'll see.
Hmm.
Maybe firmware 2.0 will fix it. If not, whatever. My PS3 is a new terabyte hard drive. Yeah.
All the good that does,
I was
I
trying to
guess.
get ready for Destiny, so it's like I got new TV, new hard drive, new controller, and that's not it. That's like I'm not even done yet because I still got to like stock up on supplies. But it's like But then I also got
Supplies?
shafted at work because it's like, oh, we're sorry, Ticken. You can have 2 weeks off. You can have 1. And I was like, whatever. Well, I didn't say this, but you know, yeah. I'm not gonna say what I said, or I'm not gonna say what I wanted to say, what I was thinking of saying, because not appropriate for podcast. But yeah.
Yeah, how dare they only give you 1 week off to play that one video
It's cool.
game?
It's cool
What's
RPG. I totally got like 1 more week before my time resets in October anyway. So it's like ha 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 in your face. So then I got 8 weeks again. It's like yes, ha ha ha, yes. And then yeah, I might just be taking like 1 week off every month just to play Destiny. We'll see what happens.
Wow.
If it is that encompassing when the expansions come out, who knows? Whatever. We'll see how much it destroys takes over my life and stuff.
Wow.
But yeah, I was looking forward to stocking my freezer full of pizzas and stuff.
Oh. I'm not taking any time off, by the
But
way.
it's only a week, so whatever. It's not needed now. I can just be like, oh, I'm peanut butter jelly or something easy, whatever. But yeah, that's all I've been playing and my adventures therein. Aimless adventures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you have, I don't know where you can go see this, but Tekken's gaming setup is sort of.
I put that picture up. And everybody's giving me crap. It's like, oh, Tekken, you need to buy some furniture, Tekken. You need furniture, Tekken. You need to
Why,
desk,
what
Tekken.
happened? What did you do?
Tekken, what?
Like, if none of that stuff was on, you would just think you walked into an abandoned apartment and there was a bunch of electronics lying in the corner.
Why? Oh, did he post like a picture of it or something?
You need.
To the internet.
Actually, I might be able to put this picture on the stream real quick. Let's see here. Properties, browse.
I'm going to go look for it. now.
Pictures. Oh, don't worry, FJ, I got it right here. I think. Or do I?
It's okay. I'm already on your page. You're slow.
I found it, though. I'm not
Yeah,
sure which one I
well.
uploaded.
So did I. So. Oh, it is just like all piled in a corner.
It's not
That's weird.
that bad.
Well, it's not. It's not a matter of it just looks really cluttered because you don't have anything
I
like
just put it on the stream, so you know.
a desk or anything or something.
I have a saucer chair. It gets the job done. Like, what else do I need? I can sit down. What does the desk accomplish? Nothing.
I
Just throw
guess.
it on a storage locker. Problem solved.
Tekken, sometimes you feel like a live man on like life support. Like the potatoes. What have we done?
Hey man, those are like so frugal. You can they last so long and they're so cheap and they're delicious and they don't kill me. And it's like, yep, sign me up. $3 for like a month of those. Yeah, like I'm covered for a month.
So the TV is on a storage locker. What is everything else on? That
Cardboard.
one's an Amazon box? The
Some
Dreamcast?
of them looks like boxes.
Yeah, the Xbox One is on a cardboard box. So is the Dreamcast. It's on a Newegg box.
I
The
mean, the Duke. You don't have an Xbox One, do you?
Oh yeah, I was gonna start calling that Xbox the First. Anyway, Xbox the First is on a cardboard box. Dreamcast on Newegg, and then the PS3, PS4, and 360 are on top of this box that has magazines in it. But
That
then
doesn't seem safe.
that and the thingy or the storage locker that the TV is on, they have like a layer of cardboard on them, so they're like more even because like the thing that they're on. Because I could probably like take the cardboard off the storage locker, but now that the TV's on there, it's like, well, F it, I'm not gonna bother. And then
Just F it.
and then I'm thinking of like taking the one with like the magazines on it with like the PS3, PS4, and 360, and just like putting another storage locker there since everyone's like, oh, well, you know, should be. I guess if I put it there, I would think it would look better than like it looks now, just like a cardboard box. But they don't know it has stuff in it, so it's like that's why it's so able to have stuff on top of it. Because yeah, magazine.
What are all these wires in front of the
Oh,
that
dude,
blank monitor?
the
Is that the recording stuff?
there's a lot of stuff to hook up to get stuff to work.
Because it looks like his PSP sitting in the middle.
Yeah, see, I had to like, it's like I had to like hook everything up, and then I had to like have ways to hook stuff up to like the Elgato, and then
It's an
and then like back in the day
electronic-
before I had like HD like video, I was like on S video, so it's like some of those cables are still around, and then I have like had to hook up other old stuff to like go through the Elgato for like my retro consoles, and I just like leave them there. I don't like bother picking them up after the fact. It's like whatever, dude. It's like it's not gonna kill me. Whatever. It's just a cable. It's on the floor. I can care less.
Until you trip over it and fall and
I've-
break your face.
I've never tripped and fell down. I may have like tripped over stuff. It's like it's not like a bad trip of like, oh, I fell and broke my leg or something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
The wires are like not trip hazards. They're like so out of the way.
That's
So-
how it starts.
This has never been vacuumed, right?
Nope.
That's what I thought.
Like, at all. Ever?
Well, I'm guessing before I moved in, but since then,
Haven't you been there for like a while now? And by a while I mean like years or
yeah,
something?
whatever. Too much work.
Ow.
I mean, I'll do it eventually. It's like, but it's like cleaning the apartment's like a whole thing. It's like, yeah, I don't have.
Wow.
I have the time. But it's like I'd rather spend it doing other things. Not doing that. So yeah.
It's a good thing you haven't developed any like dust allergies or anything yet.
Mm.
Because that would have been unfortunate. Hilarious, but unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I mean, like, if you could get the wires not out in front, it would actually look probably better.
And safer?
I always like thinking to myself, one of these days, I'm gonna get it looking good back in here. And then one day I did have like the wires looking like not so bad and uncluttered, but then I decided to hook some stuff up, and then it just dominoed from there. And yeah.
Right side though,
Back to it looking like crap.
he has a bigger TV monitor now. So,
Yeah.
There is that.
So what's hooked up to it? Like, just the PS4?
Right now it's the PS4, but I had the hookup to where it was hooked up to the HDMI switch that has that and 360 on it, but when I was trying to hook my PS4 up with the new hard drive, I had to like switch it to where it was hooked up directly to it because of the HDCP thing. So, but that monitor is going to be for everything that's not PS3 or retro because PS3 is HDCP, so I can't use it. or I mean, or yeah, or whatever. It's or with the Elgato, I'm always gonna like be recording stuff whenever I'm playing. So it's like if I ever were to hook it up, it couldn't be hooked up to that anyway. So let's hook up to the other monitor. So, but since I'm gonna get the other HD60 or whatever, so I can use one for the awesome stuff and then one for the old stuff. So yeah, it works.
The PS4 has top shelf privileges already? That's not right.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the top shelf isn't that high in this case.
But still, though. I mean,
Now, like, I see all the controllers are, I guess, are they always plugged in?
For yeah,
So, like, Dreamcast
yeah.
and whatever,
Yeah,
you can just
they're
pick
all
them up
plugged
and
in.
start playing?
Yeah. If the
Or
need strikes.
are all the consoles plugged in? Like, you
Not
could just
all
turn
of
one
them.
on and...
I actually
you're about.
I actually excommunicated the Wii. Like,
I was
don't know
gonna ask
when it
about that.
happened,
'Cause I was
but
gonna
it
say,
did,
where's
like,
your Wii and all of
disappear.
this?
I was like, you know what? I don't play this, and it's in the way, and it's.
Because it looks like you have your GameCube still out, but
Yeah, that's back when I was making those May the 4th be with you videos. So.
stuff, yeah.
But yeah, man, it's like I had to have it all hooked up so I could like with the whole YouTube thing going on. It's like when it's kind of like Valve time. It's like it'll be done when it's done, but I always have like a plan of like when I want it or in my head I'm like I can have these all hooked up at the same time and just like sitting out here, but then it never goes according to plan. But whatever.
does anything ever go according to plan? Does it ever? No.
Man.
And
Yeah, I'm like trying to think of easy ways that Tekken could improve the look of it. And
Wait, what's this? Is your
I'm
TV?
sort of coming up empty. It's a 40-inch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
40-inch. Like wires, I was thinking is like, well, cable management stuff costs money, and he probably doesn't want to do that. So what does a normal person have at home that you could use as cable management? And I was like, for some reason I thought saran wrap, but I don't think he has that either.
I use tape if it's like because like my one the Ethernet cord that I'm using for my PS3 now, since it like wraps from my bedroom up into the living room, I like having the part that's like too long for the rest of it just coiled up, and then like I just put some tape around it in a band, so it's like at least like neatly set around instead of just like all over the place. I'm just like
Yeah.
But so because I mean tape is easy to get off if you need to take it off or anything. So yeah, because I don't even keep saran wrap on hand. So, but I always have tape. So much tape, Scotch tape though. I didn't need like super electrical tape or anything, because then you'll never be able to get that crap off. So.
All right. That was a fun excursion into Tekken's world.
It is game.
What is there anything else in the rest of the apartment?
Not really.
Wait, so you
Just
don't
like
have like any furniture like at all?
Well, you can sort of see there's like a chair over here.
I have two
And then I
seltzer
think
chairs,
to the
and
right
that's
of
it.
that is like the kitchen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Wait,
and there's
where are you seeing that?
to the right of the Xbox the first. There's sort of the edge of a chair.
Oh, you could just barely see. Oh, because I had to click on the picture.
It's like a foot.
The full picture makes it look even more cluttered.
Well, and
'Cause now
I'm
you know his
hoping that like
words
in
and
the
stuff.
since like everything got delayed to next year and like Batman doesn't come out, like I'm hoping like if I do crack out on Destiny and like get really far and just like done with it, I can just like take some time to
Clean your
yeah,
room.
fine. Like it was like back in the day, that was like one of my things of like when I was like always making videos, I'd be like, okay, well, I need to clean this apartment, or I'm gonna clean it, blah 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 blah. It's like this never happened, so it's like
You could just get an entertainment system or an entertainment center and put all that stuff on it, because then you'll at
I
least
don't-
have space for everything.
Yeah, he would need a really big one, I think.
I don't think so, because some of them, because I mean, you can fit like multiple consoles on the shelves, because like I have one that's not that expensive, and I also don't have like every console he has, so I don't
Yeah.
have that issue.
Like,
But it's like I would still have space for more of them if I had them. So I just think because you can find cheap ones like anywhere. Like where he works, he could probably find a cheap one, and you'd be able to fit at least a good chunk of them on there. Because I mean, he doesn't use
See,
all those
that's my
consoles
whole thing. Is
anyway.
like,
yeah.
why does this even matter? Like, why does it matter? Like the aesthetics of like, oh,
It
this looks
Because
nicer.
it's
Oh,
dangerous and it
it's
looks
not dangerous at
messy.
all. I haven't died or set any fires or
You haven't
anything
died.
in the last however many years.
Well,
So
clearly.
well, of course not. But you only have to do it once.
It's true.
And besides, I always turn off my power. I always turn off my
So,
power strips when I'm
makes
not
like a
here,
point.
so nothing's gonna like be on. And these are like, besides my microwave, there's like nothing else plugged into my apartment. So, well, my
I guess
my
like
modem, but
you could look at it as having building a cool looking studio for your YouTube stuff. Like you have in chatting with Tekken, you got the poster in the back, right?
yeah.
Sort of. Yeah, you could like it would actually look really neat with all the old consoles and stuff on the shelves. Another thing, dust will eventually kill them,
Oh yeah.
and that wouldn't be cool.
Because they are pretty close to
And
they're
so
all
like
too, so it's not like
yeah, like if they're all organized, it's easier to clean them and maintain them, so you don't have to one day go out and find an Xbox the first or whatever.
good luck with that. By the way, if you do have to, because yeah.
Yes, I agree with RPG now. You should maybe look into an entertainment center. It would be pretty. See, the cool part about that is that basically you can hide all the wires behind it.
Because that's what I do.
And just like
'Cause there's,
I don't
like,
care
a
about the wires
couple
anymore.
wires
They're
there.
still a mess, but they're out of sight and thus out of
That
mind.
doesn't solve the problem, Chad.
Well,
Sure,
I mean,
it solves the
kind
problem of like the front being easier. Like the cables part is really it gets in the way of all the types of cleaning. But if you just have to like wipe off console surfaces, that's really easy.
Because I mean, either way, there's going to be a lot of cables, regardless, considering all the stuff you have set up. But if it's like out of the way, at least you can actually get to everything else. So, oh, because I'm telling you, you're gonna walk over there and trip one day, and it's just gonna be the end of you. It's gonna be the end of you.
Mm-hmm.
All because of the Xbox First thingy. Because that thing looks huge. And now that I'm looking at it, it's a pretty big console. Like gigantic. What the hell was Microsoft thinking? Boy, I will give them that though. At least they were able to make smaller consoles after. Because holy hell.
All right, I'm inspired. I'm gonna go shopping for you and help you with your hard drive thing. But yeah, I guess we should move on to the middle segment. Do we have one of those?
I thought you said last week that we were thinking about doing the pre-order thing, or was that somewhere else? I was.
Oh yeah, where there's the big anti-pre-order movement, and
Yeah.
why we're sort of like,
It's so weird. It seems like more and more every time there's an air quotes issue in the gaming industry, it's just like this is so silly. This is like why are we even discussing this? Like whatever, just
Gamer
whatever.
well, so the one that I saw recently was Jim Sterling's talk, or what's that show called? Jimquisition,
Yeah.
where he talked about like why pre-orders are bad, and it's basically because it doesn't benefit the customer at all. It's like a secret handshake between the retailer and the publisher to see what they can make customers do.
It's weird. I think it's so weird because like the way that my gaming habits have evolved, it's like if I'm on a 1 a month schedule anyway, then if it's not that game I'm looking forward to that I don't have pre-order, I could care less about it. And if it's something I pre-ordered, then obviously I'm looking forward to it. So I don't really care if it's. Well, I care if it's like bad or not, but it's like I know going in that I am at least excited for it, like to an extent of if it's bad, well, it's my fault because I'm not gonna like blame it on these reviews were so positive going in or the preview coverage going in was so. It's like it's my own like thoughts and feelings about the game. It's not anybody else's fault but mine.
Yeah. I mean, the way that he comes at it is basically saying you should never pre-order because you don't know if it's good or not. And you should never buy a bad game.
That's like saying you should never be
And it's
excited
like,
about a game before it's
I was
Yeah,
just
it's
about to
like-
say, like,
that's
have
a
no
weird thing
enthusiasm
to
at
me.
all. Be jaded and whatever, like everybody else in the industry. Yeah.
it doesn't-
Because it turns it into sort of like, I don't know. I've always thought it's sort of weird in the game industry where in a lot of industries, like the customers are against the companies. It's like, oh, I'm trying to get the most out of them as I can, and they're trying to get the most out of me, and it's sort of we're at odds. But in games, oftentimes it feels like Double Fine. Like people are just like, please take my money, make a game and take my money and like make a collector's edition so I can pay you more money. And it's like we're really for developers, and it's just sort of a weird, unique sort of thing. So I guess I don't see pre-orders as being something that doesn't benefit me, I guess. So one of the examples he's talking about is Alien Isolation. The pre-order bonus that was revealed was that you get the original cast of Alien and you get to play through that adventure. And he was just like, well, that's sort of crazy. Like an Aliens game doesn't come with the original cast. It's an extra thing. And so his argument is that pre-order culture, like the prevalence of it, is taking away from the games because now they're cutting pieces out of the game to be pre-order bonuses. And then, in some ways it feels like that entitled thing that we always talk about in gaming, where it's like, if you made anything for the game and I buy the game, I should get all of it. Why should I have to pay more for any of the other stuff? And I kind of see the point, but if you're excited about it and you pre-order it, it's like you're paying the same amount of money anyway, and then I guess you are getting a bonus. So yeah, for the people who pre-order, you're getting more stuff, and I guess it's complicated. I guess it's different perspectives. If you're the type of person who is out there and just really upset about quote unquote bad games, then maybe pre-order culture does take away from you.
But I mean, how would you even know if a game's bad or not without playing it anyway? Because I mean, you can only rely on reviews up to a point. Because like, no matter what someone says in a review, there are going to be people who like absolutely love a game or something, regardless of how. If someone says or it's like really terrible or something, and it's one of those things that you can't just say, yeah, don't buy a bad game again. It's like, well, it might not be a bad game to you, so you won't know that if you just decide, well, I'm just not gonna buy it because everybody else is deciding not to do it because we're doing this whole movement thing, and it's stupid. So
in some ways, that sounds sort of self-serving. If the games press is going out there and telling people, don't pre-order games because then you won't be able to read our reviews first to tell you if the game is good or not. And it's like,
yeah.
weren't you the guys who were complaining about publishers using Metacritic and saying, we don't want to influence their sales, we just want to be able to say if it's good or not? But now you're telling us that you want to influence the sales by not allowing us to pre-order until you give us the go-ahead to go buy the game?
Yep.
Basically, it's just the logic there is just it's just kind of all over the place.
Kinda weird.
But yeah, the game issue is just like so weird anyway, because it's like I think reviews like the way they are now, well, not like all the reviews, but like the reviews with scores are like the worst. It's just like that's like a whole issue in itself of like, okay, a game comes out, we're gonna give it a number, and then people look at the number and not even like what is in the text of the review to say, here's the pros and cons. It's just like, oh, look, this game's an 8 or this game's a 4. It's like whatever. It's like I'm just going to rationalize this in my brain and use that as my purchasing power, and then they rant about it after the fact of like, oh well, yeah, and someone said this was a yeah, so I thought it was yeah, but I didn't really read the review, so yeah.
Yeah, because I've seen some games like get scores, and then I'll look down to like their pros and cons thing, and I'll look at the cons, and I'm like, this doesn't seem like it would have been bad enough to justify a score that would be this low, or at least not just like not to me personally. So it's like it's kind of like scores can be really misleading in that regard. So it's like yeah, a game can get like a 10, but then under the cons they have something that might be like a deal breaker for you, and then it's like, well, then this game wasn't perfect after all. So I don't know.
But RPG, no games are perfect.
Apparently, some might be. I mean, I'm pretty sure some games have gotten 10s and stuff before, and still.
But if it's a 10, does that mean it's perfect?
Makes you think, doesn't it? But yeah, but that's kind of what the score system implies, because it's like, well, 10 is the highest score you can get, so obviously that must mean the game must be perfect because it didn't get any points off for anything. So logic would take you in that direction, even though it's like that's not necessarily the case, because it's like there may still be things wrong with the game. They're just so minor that they could just be easily overlooked, and it's just I don't know. That's why I just don't even bother with review scores or anything anyway. So it's not even a thing.
That's part of the problem with the score system is that you can't. I don't think anyone does it the earn points method. It's always we take away points for things. So games are never. I don't know. Like it seems like we judge games by they start at our expectation level, and then for everything that doesn't meet our expectations, they lose a point. So 10 is if it meets all of my expectations or exceeds them, and then everything else is below. Of course, like adding points doesn't really make sense either, because like, well, I guess then I guess we would just have a lot more lower scores.
Yeah, I just maybe like have a 1 year strike or like 1 year moratorium on like review scores in the game industry, and just like have a discussion about games, because that's what it should be about. It'd be like, what I thought about this game was this, you thought it was that. Well, we can come to an even ground and say this is what we think about this game, as opposed to being like, this is a 5, this is a 7, this is a insert number here, or score, or like letter grade if you use a letter grade here. Just stupidity. Ugh.
It's just, man. But it would be really hard, I think, because like review scores are so entrenched now. For one, I think Metacritic would just die, because a year with no scores, or I guess they do other things. They do movies and stuff, so they could survive on that. But a lot of like game store employees will tell you, look at review scores. Sometimes, and they don't really care about it, so. Not all of them, but a lot of them don't really care about it, and so the way that sometimes managers will suggest that you sell Game Informer is by saying, oh yeah, this is a great magazine, it tells you review scores on games, so you don't buy bad games.
Yeah, they're not great reviewers at Game Informer, so yeah.
So it's like, yeah, there's a lot of salespeople tell people to use review scores, and man, actually that would be really cool, an entire year with no review scores. If that could catch traction and just like everyone did it, man, wow, what would that be like? You think like that
Rev 3 started
year
doing it where they don't use review scores, but they haven't reviewed anything in a while. So, but I really do like their new format. I like their new format compared to the old of just like, oh, here's the pros and the cons, and here's the number. Because it's like, you don't need a number, dude. Just say what's good and what's bad, and this is my opinion. Because everybody has different opinions. Like, what's a 10 for me or a 9 for me or whatever is not the same from Tropical RPG. So like, if we all talk about the game, we're going to come away with like what we thought of it, and like have a opinion, but it's not going to be like, oh, here's a number, because that doesn't matter. It's like, and then like if you're on the outside looking in, you can be like, oh, well, from what they talked about, I think I'm going to get this game, or I'm not going to get this game. So you don't need a stupid number. It's just stupid. stupid.
Yeah. Wow. That would, man. Now I really want to see it. I don't know how we would do it.
If only I could get around to doing my video reviews.
Just go
If
around
only.
and like write all the editors and be like, "Hey, we're trying this campaign. Would you like to be on board? Would IGN like to be on board with no review scores for a year? Just to see what would happen."
We could
Like,
try, we could start a movement. Hashtag no review scores. For a
I think
year.
we should try it. Yeah.
This should go well.
It would be really interesting because my guess is that everyone would be happier with all the games in that year.
It's true because then they'll have no one like kind of coloring their judgment or anything.
Yeah,
they
there,
could just
there
go in
wouldn't
there.
be a really easy way to say your game is bad, your game is good. It would just be it would all be shades of gray. You know, right now the review score system sort of makes it seem like there are shades of gray, but actually there aren't. There are 7s which are bad and 9s which are good, and the things in the middle we don't care about. The things that are below we really care about because that's the ammunition that we use to tell other people that their game sucks.
It's like, yeah, don't be like this person here. Don't.
But if
be
there's
this.
none of that, like, wow, what would that be? I guess 2 possibilities. Yeah, maybe everyone is happier with their games, and that would be
or
really
the
cool.
game industry crashes. So,
I don't think that would happen. But like,
you'd be surprised. It's just a simple domino effect.
I wonder if there would be less conversation because a lot of people don't play that many games. Right now, a lot of people argue purely based on the scores that they've seen without even touching the game. And so if there were no review scores, then they would actually have to play them to actually say something about them.
Yeah. That
So
would be.
maybe either, yeah, it would either be like no one has anyone to say or anything to say because they haven't played them, or we would sell, like, the game industries would sell more games because everyone wants to be able to say something. Let's start a movement, Tekken. Let's do it.
Oh boy. How exactly do you
When it comes out,
plan
I'll
on
be
going
ready to
about
review it with how
that?
they score and be like, here's what I thought about it. I already have my format, dude. It's just I haven't got around. It's like I just do what I did during, like, you know, Golden Crosshairs. Just be like, oh, here's what I thought, and instead of giving an award, it's like, here's a review. No number because not
Well,
one
Hashtag
isn't
no
needed.
score.
I think a lot of the sites out there now could just continue because they write reviews. It's just that people don't,
Yeah.
and not everyone, but like people don't
It's
read
not like
them. So
at the end they get to the end and it's like, in conclusion, this game is a insert score here.
yeah, basically all we would be saying is just don't put the number.
Yeah, it's just like
So have your
score
review. You know,
omitted.
you can have your pros and cons things, but don't put the number.
Or
and see
letter
what
grades
happens, like, for a year.
sites that do that.
Yeah, just like all of that, and see what happens in that year.
They might be scared. They're all chicken.
And since it's the year of the video game and everything's coming out, it's like we could just enjoy the games and not be like, oh, well, I heard this was or that was a insert score here.
They don't have the cojones. They aren't ready for it. They aren't ready.
This would be so cool. Let's start writing like big sites. See if they would do it.
Yes, let's do that. Let's get that movement going and see how it goes.
We totally like drifted off of whatever we're talking about.
Why were we
Bonuses.
talking about?
Pre-order bonuses. Well, because we're all in agreement on that too. So it's sort of, we need someone here who's like totally against pre-orders. Then there'd be something to say. Whereas right now, it's just, we're all like,
pre-orders though.
And then like,
don't
and
care
then, like,
about.
and then like going forward with like the way PlayStation 4 does it, or like PSN does it, like with like their I'm sorry, like the digital preloads. If like the reason I didn't or cancel my pre-order on Destiny, if it goes the same way, it's just like you get the same stuff, you can just get it at midnight. It's like there's no point in pre-ordering the physical copy anyway, so that has even less effect on me getting it from some retailer just because they have some bonus item I could care less about, like the red sparrow I don't need for Destiny.
You might,
Nope, there's other sparrows in the game. I don't need some red one that does absolutely nothing for me.
but it might be prettier.
It's supposed to be a little bit faster.
And it's supposed to be a little bit faster. There you go.
A little bit faster.
Face. Although, I mean, that's the only thing I do have against pre-order bonuses is like retailers specific stuff, because I feel like if you shouldn't like punish your consumers for like pre-ordering from a certain place, just give everybody the same pre-order bonuses. Don't
Yeah.
just like don't change it for whoever. Just give everyone everything if they're pre-ordering it. So that's kind of like the point of pre-ordering, and the pre-order bonuses in the first place. If you're trying to get people to pre-order, just give them all everything. It's like reward them for doing what you wanted them to do.
It's actually funny because like for the Fall of Cybertron, you got like the G1 Optimus Prime skin, and I never figured out how to use it in the game. I was just like, whatever. I was like trying to figure out like how to get it like through the menus or whatever. I was like, whatever. I just want to play. I was just like, I didn't care. It's like I still haven't used it. It's like whatever. I just want to play the game.
Yeah, I feel like that probably came from the retail side, whereas it started out, probably GameStop was like, hey, we have pre-order bonuses in-game stuff. And then everyone else was like, oh, we want that too, but we want different stuff so people will come to buy from us. I mean, if everyone has the same pre-order bonus, then why would they come to us? We want them to come to us. So give us something else that's cool. And they all did that at the same time, and some companies were like, yeah, fine, we'll do it. And so we got...
But yeah, there's always some place that gets shafted, though. It's like, you'll get, like, one place will have stuff that's actually, like, you know, cool pre-order stuff, and then the other stuff is just like, it's just like, womp womp.
It's like whoever tried harder. For a long time, I think it was Amazon that usually got shafted. Amazon would have the least interesting pre-order bonuses.
It's like, get these stickers. It's like, why?
And from like the publisher side, it's like, who cares? It's just digital stuff. It would be in there anyway, but since it was neat for some places to sort of, they would say, oh yeah, these are pre-order exclusives to these places, and then months later they would just release them all for free to everyone. Some of the not cool ones have been like, oh yeah, we'll release them, but they cost $5 now.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah, it's the thing that annoys me. It's like I wish the content was just made free after a certain time, as opposed to being like, oh, you want this? Well, you still gotta pay.
Yeah, because I mean, and most
Even
of the
though you
time,
already bought the game. ...
most of the time, pre-order bonus stuff isn't like anything that's like game changing, so they can give it to you for free without, you know, it being an issue or anything, unless it's just like some massive DLC that they're giving away, which I don't think I've ever seen anyone do. So it's it's kind of like, yeah, why would you? It's just a cash grab at that point.
Here's a crazy one right now. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare pre-orders get, you know, there's all the pre-order stuff, but you also get the game a day early.
Oh yeah, the day zero thing. It's like,
I'm just imagining, like, what is that going to be like for retail? Are they going to have 2 midnight launches back to back? That's like your store is open for 48 hours in a row.
Their employees would be very disgruntled at that point.
Yeah, like that's why the scheduling got so weird when you had to do midnight launches like that. And now, I guess they're just not going to do it. I guess, you know, every pre-order, they're going to do the day zero one, and then everyone else is going to have to wait till 10 a.m. on Tuesday.
Because, yeah, that seems like it would not be fun for them.
It seems like an escalation that's alarming if it is a whatchamacallit, if it sets its precedent where like publishers are like, oh, we're gonna give it to you a day early if you pre-order a game. You're just
the week zero edition. The week zero edition. Get it a month early if you pre-order the game.
Like, you pre-ordered this game? Well, you can get it a year early. Take that, Activision.
Well, that's taking like early access to its like most extreme and like worst version, but only like, but then like on the completely other side of the not connected to the people that do early access. So it's like, you know, there are people that do early access. It's like, oh, you want to play our game, and like, you know, here it's not finished yet, but you know, just until it's done, we'll just keep working on it. And, you know, you can try it out, whatever. Or it's like people with like their actual games that are done that are backed by publishers. It's like, well, we could give it to them a whole however long period of time before the people that don't buy it, and then it'll make more people buy it because they'll be jealous. Yes. It's like, oh, curse you, evil publishers figured out how to
Because I mean,
the early
games
access program.
games go gold and get printed like long before they're actually like released, though, right? Or some do
Sometimes,
anyway.
yeah.
It's usually like a month or so.
Oh, okay. So it's not like they're just. So I mean, some of them are kind of just like sitting there. They're just waiting until they ship them out for their actual deciding their release thing.
For a while, basically.
Mm.
And in the case of Day Zero, it doesn't really bother me as much. But like, if I were a fan of Call of Duty, it would, just because it's like the multiplayer
I
mode.
think a
since
multiplayer
people
thing would be.
so far ahead of you in like such a short period of time. But yeah, outside of that, it's like, dude, if it's just a game I'm playing by myself. In the single
Yeah, I would
player,
say Day Zero mode. I mean, Day Zeros wouldn't make any sense outside of multiplayer type issue.
I would just have to be even more careful of not going on the internet to look up information about the game, because people might spoil it. Be like, oh, I already finished it. Haha. And here's what happens at the end. Yeah. Here's who dies, who lives. Yeah. Of course, a Telltale game that would never happen because they're episodic, so you cannot play all of it on the Day Zero.
Or can you?
I'm pretty sure that's not how they work, because it's like, here's episode 1, and you just wait a couple months, or a year, if you're getting the whole season. Play it as it comes out, or when it's all done. So you gotta get an episode of gaming, solving something, at least, I guess.
Solving something. Some problem we never had, but we're say we do anyway. So wait, now that I think about it though, how does the whole episodic game thing work? Is it that they're like actually going through and developing like each of these episodes in between?
Yeah,
where they
are.
release? Oh, huh. Interesting. Huh. Although that may explain all the bugs. Interesting. Because part of me just thought they were just being dramatic with it and, just releasing it in like a trickle. Just keep people's appetites slightly wet, and it's like, haha, we have you coming back. Because, they do stuff like that.
Yeah, there was an opinion article on Polygon today about when to save time and money. Stop buying games at launch, but I didn't read it, so yeah. Because for me, with my one game a month, it's like, well, obviously that's my game. I'm going to just crack out on it until I finish it. So, and it worked pretty good since I adopted it. So no going back.
Wow, it's getting weird. We were just talking about people discouraging pre-orders. Now the games media is discouraging you from buying games?
At launch, at day one, I guess. Or if you don't have a pre-order and you want to get the game but you don't have a pre-order, just don't buy it. Actually, yeah, there was I was looking through the little highlighted pieces in it. And it said something about, well, if you wait, it'll go down in price. So something. Every game will be cheaper and better in 6 months.
What is happening?
The sense of urgency is
So,
just
hey, you want to
marketing.
save money? Just steal it.
Yes. Seriously. I don't know what's happening. I mean, I'm still going to pre-order and buy games that I want, so take that, gaming media. Ha!
Me too. Actually, I do that every year. I like make a list, and then it's like, okay, what's on the list for what's every month's game, and go from there.
I mean, I got a little carried away this year because like I have like a bunch of stuff pre-ordered for the fall, but usually I'm pretty good about not buying a bunch of crap at once. So I did get a little carried away though.
Yeah, it seems like the months outside of September through November are not that hard, but then when you get to the fall, it's like, oh, everything decides to come out, and it's like, oh, squish, squish, squish. Things get bunched together.
Because I think it's going to be like a game every week for me for now until October. So it's gonna be fun.
Exciting.
There's even a new console in there somewhere.
Oh, what? Did Drive Club just get delayed again?
Drive Club?
I don't know. I just saw something that says Drive Club was. Oh, never mind. It's talking in past tense. Never mind.
Okay.
I was like, I saw it. And I was like, no. So I guess we can move into the news segment.
Yep.
Sure, why not?
What's the first story? Does anybody have any news?
Well, I mean, I don't. I mean, I don't ever look up
I
news.
just saw something about Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, whatever it's called, not coming out on Wii U. So there you go.
No. I mean, I don't have a Wii U, so I mean that doesn't really matter. But still,
There was
That's
a
messed
lot
up.
of talk this week how Ubisoft is not releasing Assassin's Creed on Wii U either because, according to their CEO, Nintendo customers don't buy Assassin's Creed. And so Watch Dogs is going to be their last M-rated game on Wii U.
I mean, Nintendo customers don't buy Assassin's Creed because they haven't released Assassin's Creed on Nintendo consoles. What the hell? Did they not see the correlation there? Like, it's like clearly because they can't. What the hell, Ubisoft? That's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Seriously.
They just want, they expect Nintendo customers to just buy the game and then just hold it.
Yeah, like, I just can't even. That's just so dumb. Like, of course they don't, because they can't. It's like, what the hell? Oh, gaming companies. Bats.
It's like, well, we're able to milk the franchise and put out the last 5 games. We'll just put out Black Flag and see what it does. Oh, the audience wasn't familiar enough with it because it wasn't on the platform. But,
Because,
well, I think we'll just stop with that one and not even bother.
gosh.
Wow. Telltale is teasing the end of season 2 of The Walking Dead. And usually that means that release is imminent.
Tuesday,
There's a new trailer
yes. Oh, it's coming out Tuesday then, because that's usually how they work.
Is that usually?
Yep, they're like coming soon, and then by the time they're done, it's like in a couple of days, so or whatever the next new release date or new release day when stuff comes out for that time. So that would be Tuesday. So yeah, next Tuesday, yay! Hopefully.
China has okayed the sale of 5 million Xbox Ones in China starting September 23rd. That actually could be pretty major for them. That's how many consoles at least they're behind now.
I was going to
Bye.
say Microsoft's going to use the China sales to inflate their worldwide sales. That's what they're doing.
Because like even even if the Xbox One isn't really popular in China, 5 million is but a small
let's say, that's
fraction
not
of the
hard to
people
do.
who live
Yeah,
there.
I just want to say it's like
In a country that many people.
they take up a large fraction of like the world's population, let alone
Yeah.
like, that's like 5 million is like a drop in the bucket. So that that is
They're
cheating.
also launching in India
Also another
later
populous
this year.
country.
Also,
Yeah.
so even if just 1% of the country buys it, that's insane.
That's at least clever on their
Insane.
part to do things like that, because it's like, well, we need a way to inflate our numbers, and what's the best way to do that? Sell in the most populated countries in the world. So it's like we're pretty
Whatever
much
it takes to
guaranteed
win.
jump.
Whatever it takes to win.
Sheesh.
No price is too high.
Yeah, apparently on their Xbox Wire news site, they had written a post that said something like 5 million Xbox Ones have used Game Share or something, their like video sharing app. And then after that was reported on by GameSpot and some other places saying, "Oh, look, that means that they've sold 5 million, right?" Then they took it down, and now it just says there have been 500 million videos shared. So we don't know how many have actually been sold.
Oh, that's great.
It's weird. I always thought Xbox One could do screenshots, but I guess it can't. That's in the works.
Oh.
This is something that we actually predicted on the show. Yoast, in an interview with Eurogamer, was talking about why they decided against having EA access. And yeah, it was that thing about protecting the ecosystem and just, it's not necessarily EA access is not a good deal, but thinking about the whole
Ubisoft
PlayStation
gets
Network.
one,
Yeah, like
THQ said.
THQ gets one. Whoa!
Activision gets one. If Square Enix
Everyone
gets
gets one. Then it becomes sort of a bad proposition for everybody. It's like, now I have to subscribe to all of these to get all the games.
Because at least if it looks like one of the companies is shutting it down, then it's like, okay, well, maybe we shouldn't all do this. Because we won't be able to do it on the platform anyway.
Apparently, EA Access is sort of disappointing for some of the people who are already on it.
Oh. But I mean,
don't
it's
know
still
why.
early, though.
Yeah, like that's the thing. It's like, oh, I'm canceling, and apparently it's sort of difficult to cancel because it's your subscription isn't actually through EA; it's through Xbox, and those subscriptions have always been sort of weird to cancel. Yeah, the upcoming Madden 15 early access release on EA Access gives you, as I understand it, access to the whole game, but you only get to play it for 6 hours. After which you have to buy it. You do get the 10% off, so that's cool. But we'll see what the reception is like.
We shall see.
Ooh, speaking of their other digital offerings, this week this is their second game time offering on Origin, which I participated in the first one. That's how I played half of Titanfall's campaign. This week, you get to play Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare for 24 hours, I think, for free. I was looking forward to that one. I'm going to check that out. So I've downloaded it, but I have yet to start my game time. So
yeah,
fun.
I forgot my Origin password, and I tried to log in one day, and I was like, you know what? I have Steam. I don't need this. Whenever I do finish Mass Effect 2 on PC, I guess I'll log in. But until then, whatever.
I still like SimCity, even though it's broken.
It's like you're lost. Yeah, Steam was a great ship, and you're not able to enjoy the ride on this awesome cruise of awesomeness.
What was the point of Origin anyway?
It's their own Steam. It's like EA Access. They saw, oh, look at all the Xbox Live money coming in, all the PS Plus money coming in. We want that.
And then they're like, oh, these EA games that we're putting out after we make Origin, well, they're not coming out to Steam or any other service like that anymore, and you're gonna only be able to get them through Origin. So if you like Mass Effect 1 and 2 on Steam, you can only get 3 on Origin because that makes perfect sense. It's really like that. So yeah, enjoy that.
Fun.
Oh, Dreamcast was really light.
Oh, actually, I find it funny that Destiny comes out on Dreamcast Day. It's like, that might be unlucky, but whatever.
Oh.
Clearly, they don't care.
At what point does it become like? At what point do Tuesdays as new release days become like too much for the economy to handle. Like Dragon Quest in Japan, they're not allowed to release it on weekdays. Or this was the story a few years ago. They can't release it on weekdays because everyone just like skips work to play Dragon Quest. So it became a law that Dragon Quest can only come out on weekends.
That is great. That
Like,
is fantastic.
Is Call of Duty gonna have that effect here?
I don't think so, Tropical, because didn't the last one
Destiny
not sell
gonna
as
have
good
that
as
effect?
the one before it?
I guess that's true.
And like whenever there's like a really popular movie that comes out, they come out on Thursdays or Fridays.
Thursdays.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forget
But
which one.
after work hours at midnight.
Oh yeah. I guess there's no effect on the economy because there's not enough gamers in the population yet. Dot, dot, dot.
I don't know if that's true, but okay.
Actually, well, I think
Or maybe it's just not like they're not skipping, like, and people with important jobs aren't
Yeah, 'cause
skipping.
I-
So,
Yeah.
so the country can still
yeah,
function.
so it sounds like, 'cause there's this documentary called Second Skin, and they follow these MMO players. And like when the new expansion for World of Warcraft came out, there's like a bunch of people that didn't go to work, but they all work at somewhere not important. So yeah.
Yeah, like if you were like working somewhere where you're like in control of like the city's like water supply or something, then it might be an issue if you're like disappearing.
Where's everyone? Everyone called in sick. I guess, stomach flu.
It's like, yeah, I heard that's going around. It's weird, but yeah.
Uh-oh. I guess it's older news, but did we go over Crytek? The troubling rumors behind Crytek were true.
No.
Yeah, Crytek, like some anonymous sources started saying that Crytek wasn't paying their employees.
Oh.
And then it turned out, yeah, they weren't paying them. And the CEO, he rationalized it by saying, like, I don't understand why everyone's complaining. I mean, we were doing our best to keep the company together. And so if everyone had some patience, then they would get paid.
Wow.
Yeah, because let me
That's
just tell that to
terrible.
all my bill collectors. Like, they're trying to keep the company together, and they promised me
It's
that
like,
I'll get
you
paid
can either,
eventually.
yeah, it's like you could either work for us for free and have a job, or you could just get fired. So we decided to not pay everyone, and so they could work for us for free. But at least they have a job.
Because either way, you're broke. So, like, what the hell?
That is not a win-win situation right there.
That is
That's
some
very
insane
strange.
troll logic, is what that is.
But yeah, some of the aftermath of that. So they're trying to be good again. They closed some studios. They had to sell Homefront to who owns that now? I think it's Deep Silver.
Hmm.
I think Deep Silver bought Homefront from Crytek. So Homefront Revolution continues development, but by totally different people now. Not Crisis. What was that game? Rise. They said it's like, yeah, it didn't sell as well as we wanted, so now we're getting the PC version, and maybe we'd do a Rise too, because yeah.
Because so many people wanted that game, even on PC. dot dot dot.
Oh, is that not what was going on? Oh, whoops.
Yeah, that's sad. I guess this is kind of news, and I guess I'll do my plug now. Well, so friend of the podcast, Yukino, requested that we give our listeners a message from her for the kids.
No!
Because this year, Extra Life, if you don't know what that is the gamer charity, I suppose, where gamers play games for 24 hours for charity. Most of the time, people sponsor children's hospitals. and donate whatever money they raise to those. So Yukino is doing that again this year. It takes place October 25th. She's going for $1,000 this year, so needs a lot of support. And for that reason, like, she's also offering prizes, and like the grand prize is really cool. I've seen it. It's like it's a big, what are they called? Like cross stitching patterns. Like, she made this sort of frameable cloth
Wait, is it the
mural.
map one? Of
Yeah, the Super Mario
that
Brothers
was
3
nice.
map. It looks awesome. For every $5 donation, you get one entry into this raffle to win that thing for your home, for your wall. Look at Tekken's bare walls.
I know,
He
right?
needs it.
Would someone think of the walls? Oh wait, we should have had a picture of the map thing you just show on the stream or something.
I can
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
Hold on.
Tekken can go find it. It's a World 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, this year she's raising money for Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. There are also secondary prizes. Or runner-up prizes, sorry. Secondary makes them sound... No, I guess it's about the same. And if you'd like to support her in her efforts to help the children, it's the website is extralife.org. There's a space between extra and life /participant. Use spell check and you can get that /Yukino. YUKINO. Have you guys done Extra Life before?
Nope.
I have no idea what it is, and if it's for children, that's probably why I haven't done
I
it.
have to work every year, so I haven't been able to participate.
I'm actually doing that this year too, but I won't do my plug now.
Oh, that's weird.
My goal is not quite as lofty.
Yeah.
What is Extra Life anyway?
It's basically it's a gamer centric charity essentially. So you sign up with the extralife.org website, and then so the sign up is like you give them your info, basic info, and then you choose a hospital to support. And I think it's, wow. I feel bad for not knowing this, but yeah, I think it's like mostly a what's it called? Children's Miracle Hospital Network hospitals. But yeah, anyway, you choose a hospital support. So the money that you raise through Extra Life goes directly to the hospital. So there's no overhead from the organization itself. And then, so yeah, you choose your hospital that you want to help. You choose anything else? Oh, you set a goal for yourself, and then basically, yeah, go out. It's basically like those marathons where you're like, oh, I'm running this marathon for charity. So, would you support me like $1 for every mile I run? And then you go out and run as many miles as you can. This is kind of like that, except it is for gaming. So the basic one is play games for 24 hours. And then whatever you've been sponsored, like that money will go directly to the children's hospital of your choice.
Oh, I mean, I can play games for a long time though. That'd be dangerous. Somebody was sponsoring me. It's
Well,
like,
I guess people sometimes do dangerous things. So it's actually explicitly stated on the website. This is about helping hospitals and keeping people out of hospitals. So like, don't put yourself in a hospital to raise money for children.
but I mean, if anybody was sponsoring me, that would just like, they would go broke. 'Cause
Well, they could either do hourly or they could do lump sum. So they wouldn't
Oh.
necessarily go broke. Although, if you're talking about, spending hours and hours and hours doing it, then maybe you should try to get hourly and get some of those people to go broke, because it is for the kids.
yeah, won't someone please think of the children?
Exactly. And like the date I mentioned, October 25th is sort of the main day, but you can do it at any time that fits your schedule.
Okay, fine.
You
Let me
just-
show the quilt thing. Cross stitch.
Oh, you found it?
Yeah.
All right. So if you're watching this on YouTube or you're looking at the highlights in Twitch, that is the thing. I don't know the exact dimensions, but I have the impression that it's quite large.
The cross stitch.
Yeah,
thing?
the cross stitch thing.
I don't know if she even mentioned the dimensions of it, but I would imagine it's pretty large because those things
It looks
tend to
good.
be. But I mean,
Better than a print.
all the good it's gonna do because I'm gonna steal it. So jokes on everybody's trying to get their entries in because they're gonna be like, haha, ninja thievery. So, just saying. I've played enough Assassin's Creed. It's not hard.
But yeah, I was saying like you don't have to do it on the same day as everyone else, and you actually don't have to do it all at once. So if it works better for you to do 8 hours on 3 different days,
Oh, I didn't know
or
that. I thought you had to
like
do-
1 hour for 24 days, I think Tekken cracks out on enough stuff
I was just about to say, it's
to
like
actually have the game time. Yeah. Find some sponsors, sign up for Extra Life, find some sponsors, and then for the children. For the children.
Oh man, I could have like a theme of like child protagonists as well. Yes. I like this.
I mean, so basically
Or-
you're just playing a
or
bunch of
young adult
RPGs.
to
No shortage of those there.
hey man, Grandia. I want to be. I can't remember the first one. The theme was like just the 3 kids. It was like some weird theme of like I want to go to the end of the world or something to explore, or just play that.
Yeah. Whatever happened to that series? Oh, I don't know.
Anyway, it's 10 weeks away. So get your sponsors in now.
Sponsors.
Yeah, Tekken, you should do it.
I mean, you might as well. You marathon enough games anyway. So,
It would be really cool
Some
actually if
children.
you should release a DVD compilation of the road to Best of the Best. And just like download all your YouTube videos and burn them to DVDs.
I didn't think about that chapter. Cool. That would be.
That'd be cool. The complete season.
Wow, it
Road
took
to
like
Best
over
of
a
the
year
Best.
too. It was like from 2012 to 2014. It was a ridiculous amount of time.
Jeez.
Season 1 and Season 2. It almost broke me, but it didn't.
I could just imagine the preview trailers with him like getting all pumped up, and he's like, there were ups, but there were also downs, and he's just like sitting in the rain or something. It's like, this is pretty dramatic.
Man, chapter cool. Jeez, I wish I would have thought about that like before you had said it, because man, you could like theoretically do that with like a bunch of games, because like because I think there's like people that do like strategy games for like fighting or strategy videos for like fighting games, and like man, that's like such a better idea than like doing like the YouTube and taking a cut from the ad revenue.
Yeah.
Just like straight to DVD. It's like, okay, I'm gonna shut up because I don't want anybody to take my ideas, but yeah, chapter cool. I think you're onto something. Yeah.
Oh, I have ideas.
Oh dear. This is actually completely unrelated, but can you like do commentary when you're like doing PS4 share stuff, or is it
Yeah.
just the
That's
You
what
can have it
the
to,
camera makes that
record
convenient
the
too.
Thingy, or any audio from the camera or the micro or your headset when you're
Yep.
using the share button.
oh? Wait, wouldn't that cause like a weird echo effect if you have a camera and your headset on?
I think
Or is
you
it?
only choose one as the audio.
Oh,
input.
okay.
Yeah, it's actually okay. Because you would think like the camera would pick up everything from the TV, but I was watching Yukino's Diablo stream earlier, and I think she was using a camera, or like you could faintly hear the TV, and the game sounds would come through twice, but it wasn't terrible.
Hmm. It wasn't terrible.
No feedback loop, because those are terrible.
They are.
So yeah, I guess that's the real news. It's really kind of slow now that Gamescom is over. We know that Sony will be doing a pre-TGS thing on September 1st.
Deep down. Believe.
That's going to be streamed online
It will look
on
as good as
the
trailer. Yes. Sorry.
it's their Japanese press conference, so that could be really cool. Last year's was pretty exciting. No Vita stuff. They're focused on showing PS4 stuff on these stages, but there is a lot of Vita stuff coming out. Wow, you should have seen the PlayStation blog the day of the Gamescom conference. Everyone was just every post had really low scores, and all the comments were like, how come you're not talking about Vita? How come you're not talking about Vita? Oh, this is a Vita game? How come it wasn't talked about at the show?
Sheesh.
Man.
Gamers. What can you do?
I don't know. And then Tokyo Game Show so PAX is at the end of this month. Generally, but the behemoth, the creators of Castle Crashers, Alien Hominid, Battle Block Theater, and they will be announcing Game 4 at the show, and it'll be playable there. So that's really neat. So yeah, some
indie games at PAX as well, so we might see
Yeah.
some new stuff there.
like a lot of game stuff comes out of PAX
Indie
these
Mega
days too.
Booth.
Woohoo! And then September 18th through the 21st, I think, is Tokyo Game Show. Of course, that's after Destiny, so
Yep. After you
I
said
don't
those
know if
dates,
we're
I was
gonna
like,
care.
dude, Alien September 9th. We'll see what happens.
Maybe that's why they're doing their thing on September 1st. It's like, oh, we still have their attention right now, but 2 weeks from now, it's just going to be like, we're only going to be speaking to Japan, who doesn't have Destiny yet.
I still care about Tokyo Game Show.
I don't.
I still do.
After the last 2 embarrassing years of, what happened in Japan? Jeez. I want to believe, but this is depressing.
Japan.
Technically, the Tomorrow Children is a Japanese game.
Oh my god, that game look awesome. But it almost sounds like I saw like an interview regarding it, and it sounds like it's going to be like semi MMO kind of ish or something. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like,
It's
what?
a weird game so far. I can't wait to see it, because right now I don't understand it at all.
Yeah, so I'm kind of curious as to how it like turns out, because like this just sounds just different. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we can go on with the news. There's always stuff to talk about, but it becomes less and less relevant and less current. Kano was announced from Mortal Kombat 10 Mortal Kombat X about 2 weeks ago.
The dude with the eye laser.
Who?
The dude that Sonya Blade kills in the movie, the first one.
Oh, the guy with the accent.
Yeah.
All right.
That narrows it down.
I think he's Australian?
I was gonna say that, but then I was like, I don't know. It was a pretty bad accent, so.
There was a survey recently that apparently more game developers would rather work at Valve than they would like to run their own studio.
That's interesting because they don't put out a
That
lot
is
of
interesting.
games.
Yeah,
So it's like,
I
what would you
like.
be doing?
I feel like I would rather work at Naughty Dog or Insomniac, and then Valve. I don't understand what they do. They just make more Team Fortress stuff. It's like, that's not super interesting to me. And running Steam doesn't seem interesting either. That is barely game design.
That's just like, okay, where are we at on the revenues this month? All right, we're in the green
they
again.
they designed the little sales games, like the red team, blue team. Some of the other ones, like Naughty Dog, was on there. Blizzard, I think, was the third one under. So the first one under your own studio.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's baffling.
Actually, it's interesting on Blizzard because they, outside of Diablo 3, they haven't really done a lot on console. So
Yeah.
that's like interesting because like Valve is also PC centric. So maybe there's a lot of PC developers out there that responded,
Hmm.
or I don't know.
Maybe.
Hmm.
Yeah, both of those companies have very few game properties. I mean, they do really well, but
Yeah, and all of Blizzards are franchises, so
yeah,
they
it's just
just
like they
put out
have
new versions of
Warcraft,
whatever. Yeah,
StarCraft, and Diablo. And then the crossover, Heroes of the Storm. And the card game is part of the Warcraft franchise.
and there's always like whispers of Project Titan or World of Warcraft 2 or Zappa 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 Zappa. It's like, yeah, I'll believe when I see it. Because just like Valve, it's done when it's done, and until you see it, unless StarCraft grows to where it's like, oh, we'll show it one year and then kill it the next. So yeah,
Valve has once said that they basically only ever made one game, which was Half-Life and Half-Life 2. And then everything else that they have came from those games. Somebody made a mod and it became Portal. Somebody made a mod and it became Left 4 Dead. Somebody made a mod and it became Counter-Strike. Somebody made a mod and it became Team Fortress. It was like they didn't make anything. They made Half-Life and Steam.
You're
Huh.
welcome.
That's interesting.
It's weird. And they only made Steam because they wanted an easy way to update Half-Life 2.
And then they try to make a console, but they're still
Yeah.
working on that. Dot dot dot.
Still working on that.
We'll see how that goes. Steambox.
I guess the last thing, I saw a really cool thing online. Someone made an actual working hard drive in Minecraft. It is a 1 kilobyte hard drive. But it works. It's ginormous and uses lots of like pistons, like hydraulic pumps. It uses like red blocks, I think, are ones, and clear blocks are zeros. And I don't know. I don't know how a hard drive actually works, but it was a working hard drive.
I don't know, Tropical. I don't know if I'd worry about storing 1 kilobyte of data on a hard drive. That's a bit of overkill there. Ginormous hard drive for 1 kilobyte.
It was crazy. Hard drives in the olden days must have looked like that. You're standing in this room with giant lights and switches on the walls, and outside, all around the building, is hard drive.
Giant mainframes, yeah. Tape drives. All right. So I did see something in the news, but it wasn't like something that has like a date. It was just that the person that made Ikaruga and Radiant Silvergun is making some PS4 games. So I'm pumped for some of
Yeah.
those games. So yay.
Apparently, he announced it really early, but he usually doesn't do that apparently. But he was just like, yeah, he's really confident that people will be excited about this one, so he announced it now. Yeah, it is exciting. He was right. All right, last thing. I read somewhere Kojima was sort of well. So I don't know who wrote this. It was on. I saw it on Facebook, and basically, I don't think it's true, but it was like
Oh boy.
it was the pitch meeting for Silent Hills from the perspective of like the people who were gonna greenlight it or not. And the story went something like they thought that Kojima would come and he would have all these design documents and ideas and he would pitch them. But Kojima came in with not even a sheet of paper and he walked up to the board and he wrote Silent Hill. And then he wrote an S on the end, making it plural. And then just for emphasis, he drew 2 vertical lines down through the S and turned back and smiled. And that day, they greenlit it for $200 million. It's such a great story.
True
it can't
story.
possibly be true, but
I don't know.
Just like
It
picturing
sounds
it in
like
my
it
mind
is.
is like, that's so fun. I want to know who wrote it.
I don't know, because it sounds like exactly like something he would do. I mean, and people would be okay with it because it's him. So it's like, yeah, sure, why not? Just give him money. Greenlight everything. So
But yeah, apparently what actually happened was Konami called him up and asked him to reboot Silent Hill. And he thought, at first he thought, well, I'm really scared of those things, so I don't think I could make a really good Silent Hill. But on the other hand, maybe Silent Hill is like, I could make a scary game that only people who are scared of those types of games could make. I can kind of feel that in PT. I was talking about sort of the primal fear of like pictures and like being by yourself and like long hallways and stuff. It's like, yeah, people who like horror stuff might not think about those things as being scary.
because they aren't. What the hell?
But PT is scary, so I think he's onto something.
I guess. I mean, like I said, I've only seen people stream of it, but so I haven't really so scary about it. But I don't know. I also watch a lot of horror stuff though, so I am not really easy to scare to begin with. So
Did I mention
there's
this
that.
last time? Like, nobody understands how the game works.
I'm not
Like,
sure.
no one ever.
I read about that though, and I thought it was fascinating. Basically, like
Yeah,
on forums,
it's like,
people
apparently-
are talking in code of like, if you do this to trigger that, but it's like maybe this will happen, but
Yeah. Like, apparently, even the person who first got the teaser at the end doesn't know
Yeah.
how the game works. Like, they don't know how they got the teaser. And lots of people have been trying to get the ending, and some people can and some people can't, and it just seems to be totally random.
like gamer
And
stories.
people, yeah.
Get a breakdown.
Yeah, because he
It
was like
6 hours and nothing.
yeah, it was ridiculous. Because like he was even streaming that one time, like when we were podcasting last time, and he was just like the entire podcast standing in
Yeah.
front of a damn telephone, and I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah,
Like,
I watched Dagger's stream, and she started doing things like, walk over 10 steps over here, and then a baby cried. It's like, oh, okay, so now I'm supposed to go over here and look in the mirror, and then like the ghost will appear behind me, and then I should go over here, and then there'll be another baby cry, and then the phone will ring, and then you got it. And she kept doing it. It's like, it's not happening. And I think Seth was playing on a different PS4 at the same time, and like different things were happening in his. So there's like a random element in the game, and then nobody understands how to trigger the ending. Because on a forum post I saw, one guy he got stuck, and so he turned off his TV, and like an hour later he came back and the phone was ringing. So he literally did nothing and got the ending.
That is great.
And I feel like that is sort of really Kojima. Like, he thinks about these things in ways that other people don't really think about them in.
What's
So
funny is because of if there is just like some random element, the fact that people have to like wander around in something that they're afraid to wander around in this
yeah,
entire time, it's just
like
like it's
it
kind of
just
an
makes it
a-hole thing to
even
do
more
though.
tense.
It's kind of hilarious.
But it's just like he talked about why PT was released the way it was. It's like, people are afraid of the unknown, and so no one knew anything about what it was, and that initially makes you sort of afraid, and then it's a scary game, so that makes you afraid. And so I'm just thinking, is Silent Hills gonna be the first game with documented like it kills some people when they're playing it? Could it be too scary? Because they've said they want it to be super scary.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
And if you think about what Kojima does in his games, so for example, like Psycho Mantis's stuff, moving the controller around, reading your memory card, having to unplug it and put it in controller port
oh my
2.
gosh, see, like Kojima's like so cerebral at that like you could like not even be in the game, like something in the menus of like
Yeah.
of like the PS4 like just like jump out and like do something weird. Oh no.
Yeah. I'm sort of like,
Yes.
think about the technologies that we have. We have microphones. Some people swear that it is having a mic plugged in, and that's what triggers the ending for PT. So you have to plug in your mic, or you have to have a headset plugged in.
Just like the
Or
noises
other
they
people
could do.
Yeah, other
Or just
people
like,
swear it's
oh my
like
gosh.
you have to be streaming. It has to be on Twitch, and then you can unlock the ending. It's just like all that stuff is on the consoles. All that stuff is stuff you can use. Then there's cameras. Kinect can tell your heart rate. It's our vitality sensor idea. It's gonna sit there and say, "Oh, this guy's super nervous. I'm gonna scare him right now," and then he dies.
Oh.
If that actually happened, that would make the game even scarier. Or they could like leak a fake rumor about that happening, and then it would make the game even scarier. And it's just like inside and outside of the game. The thing with the code for Meryl's codec on the back of the box,
yeah.
bringing stuff outside of the game into the game. It was like, I'm like more and more sure that I will be super interested in Silent Hills, and I will never play it.
Yep. I already said nope to that after I saw gameplay later on in that game when like I was playing and the lights were on in the game where it's like you're in the hallway. Later on, the lights F with you. They do, yeah, different colors, darkness. You have a flashlight. I was like, flashlight, F that. No, just nope. Like, especially if it's in first person, not happening.
Yeah, it is. I want to watch RPG play it. Like when you get your PS4, you should set up your streaming, and I want to get a camera, and I want to watch you play it.
Get a camera, but I already said it's either the headset or the camera. I'm not doing both. I think I need the headset. Besides, it wouldn't be interesting to sit here and watch me like blank face the whole time. Because I'm telling you now, nothing's in there going to be able to scare me. I mean, I laugh at jump scares, just like, haha, you tried, but it didn't work. So, but it's okay. I'll have my microphone so I can sing creepily into it while I do stuff.
Oh man, it's gonna be exciting, and I will never play it.
It's okay. I'll buy it and play for you.
Yay! Backseat gaming over the internet. It is the future.
Or maybe you can use the update 2.0 where you can share the game and be like, oh, I'll take over a bit right here, and then
No.
I'll play for I'll just play for 30 seconds, and then that 30 seconds get free time. Like, oh, I'm done.
He's like, nope, 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 nope. Take the controller back. Nope, nobody, nope. It's like, damn it, Tropical. Why?
There's actually people out there saying that Silent Hills can never be as scary as PT. And I kind of see the point. I mean, PT is really short. And so I like what kind of maybe RPG could do it, but like what kind of people could play through 10 to 12 hours of that? Just like even when nothing was happening, like the tension in the game is really high because you don't know when stuff is going to happen, so you're just always scared. That's how like Dead Space was.
Dead Space was fun.
And so and then, the other thing is like, oh, Silent Hills, there's certain expectations, whereas PT is like no one knew what it was. And so that unknown factor and not having to shoehorn in combat and all that sort of stuff. It's like, yeah, Silent Hills is not going to be as scary because it'll probably have combat and it'll probably have, systems and stuff that you have to teach the player so that they learn. And then when they learn, then they're not in the unknown and they're not as afraid.
But who says they are going to have these things? What if
Yeah,
they
that's
just
the
kind of
thing.
throw you in there and they're just like, well, good luck. And
That's what I think. Is like, on the other hand, it's Kojima. I mean, look at the stuff that this guy has come up with.
it's what he does. It's what he does. So,
And your like controller just like randomly rumble for like no reason at
Yeah.
all. Oh my gosh, there's just so much. Yeah, oh my gosh.
All the other controllers turn on and their lights flash red.
I know. I just wanted to say if the lights are still It's like, wait a minute.
Wow, that would be pretty scary. They all turn red. All their speakers start having that Silent Hill static. The monsters are in your house too.
Be like scared to go into your room for like the next few days. It's like I haven't showered for weeks. I haven't.
Or it's like you have your PlayStation camera on and like you're walking around and monster approaches and it turns into your face on the monster.
Oh man.
That would be kind of
So
cool
many
if you could
possibilities.
like mess up stuff like that, because the camera, since the camera does give, since you could do like that picture-in-picture thing, if they had it where they can like superimpose like a ghost or something in the background behind you or
Yeah.
something, for like realize it and just like it's like, wait, what the hell? So many things, so many things.
Oh yeah, I think it'd be neat and terrifying.
All right, so I guess that is it for this episode. Until next time.
Check us out on aimlesspodcast.com. Also on YouTube, Twitch, mostly on YouTube because Twitch is doing stuff now. Facebook and Twitter are the places you follow us. iTunes is the place you can subscribe. And yeah, I think that's it.
RPG.
Yeah. And stuff.
All right, so until next episode, will someone finish a game? What taken? No, he won't clean his apartment. So that's not happening.
Well, the whole point of the
Plus,
question
it's
is
a
just
cool
ask them.
entertainment center.
Will any progress be made in his attempt to clean his apartment? Will all three co-hosts be able to form again for like a record fourth week in a row? Who knows? Find out on the next episode of Aimless Babble Z.